poor cable, and then assuming that it's a good enough mini USB cable, this accomplishes my purpose.
Hey everybody, welcome to bonus content. Tony's here, cutting things with a knife.
Maybe.
Scott's
but then the
options
problem
here.
is like it might not be stable enough
Why
for
are
the
you sending
mouse
us
anymore.
pictures of this? Our guest Geoff Chorney is here.
Hey, what up, guys?
Yeah,
Been so long since I've done a podcast.
how long has it been? A year?
The last one I remember is a Game of the Year show with Indus before I left permanently. That's the last. I think I might have done one after that. So we're talking probably maybe January.
Wasn't the last one like episode 4? I don't know what number it was, but like episode 400 or something like that. Like it was a pinnacle episode, I think it was.
No idea. That might have been the last live one we did. But I think the last one I did was I definitely remember doing Game of the Year last year, but I don't remember doing one after that.
Right.
That I can remember.
What was your game of the year?
My personal Game of the Year was a really hard one for me. It came down to Doom and Final Fantasy 15, and I went with Final Fantasy.
Whoa, I didn't know you were a Final Fantasy 15 boy. Shout out to the emo boys.
I am. It's the first one I ever beat.
Okay.
So I usually play all the proper ones and never beat them, and this one I beat, and I was dedicated to it, and I really liked it. So I was like, I have to give it to.
Did you
to
cry
that.
at the end?
No, not that emo.
All right, well, it's just me then. It's fine. For people who don't know, Geoff hasn't been on the show for 230 episodes.
It's a long time.
It's not
That's
that long.
years.
We're encroaching on episode 400 too. We're catching up on you. So it's what, 4 years. So I was on Indus right after my house blew up. That was last
That's
time
right. I do remember
podcasted
that.
with you. It was you and Chris and
That was a while ago.
yeah, that was 2015, September 2015.
And I can't hear you guys. Awesome.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did we break you again? I'm gonna just assume that it's Jeff's fault.
Yeah. Solid plan.
Have you tried turning it off and back on again? I can hear anything. That's I think fuck my life. Have you tried checking your Google Hangout settings?
All right. Well,
Can you guys even hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Damn it.
Well, I'm gonna talk to you, Nabashin, just in the meantime. So last week was a weird episode. People should go watch that. I feel like that was a banger episode.
We should name this episode Epitoad.
Okay. Or Hypnotoad.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Well, you guys keep talking. I'm just going to say random shit into the mic until I figure this out.
I like that because it implies that we're
Yep,
just
totally.
going to talk over each other.
Oh, come on.
Well, I didn't know you were so into butt stuff, Geoff. No, damn it. That could have like been my full trap.
Dang,
Or it's
it would have
like-
been so clever too.
Where he said no, nothing but eating ass, and we kept the bit rolling from last week. Yeah, we had a weird thing last week. It was an abnormal episode. There were a lot of guests on in my house. Some good guests, some good
Dave
people. Dave Lang, specific, and most notably, he apologized publicly
I saw that.
for his appearance, but I think he was actually the highlight. Yeah, no, that was fun. I'm in that post-event depression, like real deep. I don't know about you guys.
That lasted all of Monday.
Okay.
That I was asleep for basically all of Sunday.
Yeah.
And the post-event depression lasted about Monday,
Yeah.
and then it was over.
Logan was in my house Monday, so
Yeah.
It was still going
And then
on.
I took him home Tuesday
yeah. So
to
you
the
got
airport.
you got a little bit of flavor.
Not all the way.
Yeah.
Just a little visit to Flavortown.
Yeah, you took a one-way stop to Flavortown. I don't know where you're at, Nabashin.
I mean, I don't know. Like, it was another event, so.
I miss Nabashin already.
I miss Aubergine too.
It's just one of those things where, you know, I did my time. I had my great time with my friends, and
I did my time.
And you know, just came home.
I love this city.
You were like, fucking, I'm sick of this shit.
No, it's not really that. It's more of like, I don't know what it is, honestly. Like hanging out with you guys is always like a great highlight, and it's always a good thing. And it was something I could do more, but I know I can't. So it's like something I prepared myself for before I actually do the meetings. Because like, it's always like an internal thing with me. It's like if you like always at the last few minutes, like should I even go? Just because I'll be like so disappointed with myself like later on, as far as like being separated and stuff like that. So it's a lot of stuff I go through.
Yeah, I feel like I normally prepare myself for the aftermath better, but I guess like because I had so much going on, I didn't. It was weird because I was thinking like, oh, I have all these people in my house. I'll be so happy when they're gone. Just because like I like to be alone, but now I'm just like bummed out.
But it's mostly because I'm not there anymore, right?
It's mostly because I'm not in Tony's arms.
Yeah.
Being caressed slowly.
So how was the raccoon that got into the trash?
I don't know. I would hope that a raccoon wouldn't climb my deck and rip open trash bags while it's 40 degrees outside, but that didn't stop him. My brother did help me get all of the trash out of the house this morning though. I like almost cried because I was so appreciative. So otherwise I would have had to do it by myself. So the deck is like completely clean. The kitchen's clean for the most part. The dishes aren't yet. We're still working through them, but
Then you found a strand of Trevor's hair, and then you ate it. And said, now I got all Mike's power.
yeah. And then my hair like grew 5 times as long. I had to cut it again. So I felt the power coursing through me. I actually don't know what happened to Trevor's hair.
Is this the same place you put Danny's hair?
No. It was in a bag, and the bag is gone. Somebody might have taken a bag of Trevor's hair home with them.
They might have also thrown it out.
They didn't tell anyone.
I want to believe because it just disappeared after that. After I weighed it, it's gone.
If it turns up sometime during next year's Extra Life.
No, like somebody brings it back. I kept this all this time. They come back with like 6 clones of Trevor.
Do you still have Danny's hair?
No, I threw that out like 4 months ago.
That time you took in the picture, hey, I still have your hair.
After I took that creepy picture, and Danny was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
I don't know, man. I put amoebas in my mouth. You tell me.
So, so somebody could have Trevor's hair. I want to know. It's Hairgate. So maybe we'll find out next year. But yeah, you should go watch last week's podcast. It was like all bonus content. The episode is kind of how we refer to it. The first 2 minutes of the video version are silent. Sorry about that, but the audio version's fine. It's worth watching though. It gets a little bonkers. Geoff Chorney's joined this video call. Can he hear us? I'll take that as a hard no. So yeah, that was what a weird week of life that was. I wrote a thing up on it. It's a very emotional, general thing. Are you like farting into the microphone, Scott?
Huh? What's going on?
What are you doing?
Don't worry about it.
Are you like fucking ripping fat cotton right now? Ripping that sick vape?
I mean, like, listen. You can have your imagination. I won't take that away from you.
I don't know, man. I want to believe. Have you here? We're gonna figure out this Geoff from it. Have you?
I'll keep making weird noises.
What do you? Oh, I forget this mutes me while I'm typing. Guys, it knows. I don't know how Google knows I'm typing too. I want to believe that Scott just has like a whoopee cushion up to his face. Blowing fucking air.
I mean, it would be hilarious if it was a whoopee cushion.
I mean, I'm just present to everyone. Present Geoff to everyone.
So,
Yeah.
was this year's Extra Life more work or less work than last year's Extra Life?
I mean, it was both, right? It was both more work because, like,
In terms of how much you were doing.
in terms of how much I was doing, I think it was less work, like during it, right? But there was a
Yeah.
lot more preparation that had to be made. So, you know, it was good. It was nice to delegate. And like as people kept fucking asking me if I was okay, but I was fine. Like
Yeah, you didn't seem. Yeah, you seemed fine the whole way through.
Thursday, like I think it was like Thursday or Wednesday, and a little bit of Friday, I was like super bad. But like after I slept Friday night, I was fine. Like I was like totally chill, because I had to be The Rock, you know. I had to be Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
What? No, that's my job. We went over this during the meeting.
Sure. Well, Nabishin was technically my rock, and I guess so were you, Scott. So
Wow.
you were a rock. You were like an actual
Wow.
physical human rock. And Tony, you were Troll's rock. So yeah, I don't know. It worked out because like I didn't really have to worry about tweeting anything. I just like tweeted dumb stuff. If you look at my tweets, I just had a good time.
Hey, I need you guys to check the group thread real quick.
I don't see anything, Tony.
It's coming.
I like.
I see it.
I don't know if I want whatever you got coming to me. Here, okay.
Basically, he did it.
I did it.
You got it to work.
I defeated.
You defeated. I mean,
All right. So every time you gotta, are you gonna play Destiny on mouse keyboard now?
Fuck no.
So you gotta do this every time you want to play Danganronpa.
Yep.
that's a fucking rough life you're living. For context, Tony was having trouble syncing his PlayStation 4 controller.
I basically
back
went through
to
an
his
odyssey.
PS4. So he had to hook a keyboard up to his PS4 just to get it to work.
I had to do a lot more than just that.
Yeah. But I mean, to be fair, you made this difficult for yourself by leaving your cable in Nevada.
Yeah, but like also, I had the tools. Like there was a big knife. I just had to use it.
Did you cut down that fucking keyboard cable?
A little bit. I didn't end up using like that. That was like irrelevant. Like it wasn't part of how it was solved in the end. But I definitely did it. There is definitely less plastic attached to the end of that USB cable than there was before.
Okay. That's
And thank God I still have my fingers.
concerning. Yeah, I'm glad you didn't cut your fingers off shredding this USB cable up.
Amen.
So how was the Cheesecake Factory afterwards?
It was good. Tony couldn't make it.
Yeah, so like my car battery is so dead that it cannot be jumped.
That's not good.
Yeah, I woke up at 9.
9 p.m.
Yep.
That sounds lit. I slept I think from like 1-2 ish to like 7:30.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, Geoff is like now considering doing a full reboot. I'm just very enthralled in this story. Man, I slept real hard, but like I've just been tired all week. It's like I can never sleep enough.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I was way more awake and aware through all of Extra Life. Like, I didn't ever really get loopy. I had a good second wind, and I never... Like, last year, I was fucking, like, walking around my house like a zombie at some point for 2 hours, just, like, trying to find a place to sleep and then not finding a place to sleep. So, none of that this year. I was fine all the way through. It was good. I think like just having all the different people's energy helped with that. I feel like I didn't really have like a dark hour period where I was dying.
That's weird.
I did.
Because generally you have to have that dark hour period before second wind happens. But all right.
Yeah, I guess like after the wings, I just like got my second wing. That was
Right. Yeah. For me, that dark period happened right as you hooked up the SNES.
Yeah, that was definitely maybe the lowest point. So I would say.
So I cuddled up next to in the couch. I claimed it before people slept in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of mean, but oh well.
I mean, at some point, like Cameron fell asleep upstairs, and he was snoring so loud no one else could sleep upstairs. So, like, if you want to like take a step back in the grand scheme of things, that was more cruel and mean.
But yeah, I curled up. I had a Red Bull next to me, so whenever it started to get bad,
just
I just cracked it open.
Yo, and I never drank my energy drink, and it fucking sucked. I forgot that it was there, and I was like, oh yeah, it didn't have to be as bad as it was.
Yeah, I had I had like 4 cups of coffee.
Yeah,
but
I had 0 caffeine that entire time.
Yeah.
Did you make it
I
all the
ended
way
up
through?
that way too.
Yeah, Navashin, I
did it.
see you were. I figured
Did
like
Navashin make it all the way through?
I dozed off a couple times, but for the most part, I made it through.
I figured when you left to just get some air, I figured you just drove to a parking lot and slept in your car.
Oh no. That was like I went to my old job, saw some people there, said hi,
Oh, okay. That's
and
sweet.
I walked around the mall a little bit just to decompress, and then I came back.
Gotcha.
I did actually like pull over to the side and like slept a little bit after I left. After I left.
Okay.
Just like for like 30 minutes, and then like went back on the road after that, and just stayed up for the rest of the day, cleaned up my room, hooked up everything, and then I went to sleep. So it worked out.
Yeah. What did you do, Tony?
During like the
When you
like,
left?
I didn't leave.
Well,
never
you
left. I'm still
went home
here.
at some point.
I went home when it was over with Scott.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Oh, I don't know. I went home and I put all my shit downstairs, where it was before.
Okay, I thought you said, and I
And,
shit downstairs.
No, then I don't know. I spoke with the other people who live in the same house as me,
Mhm.
and then I put all my shit away. I didn't like set everything back up, but then I just went up. I went up to my room and just passed out.
Hell yeah.
Then I woke up at like 7 o'clock, and I caught up on like the 200 texts in that thread on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm leaving that thread at that at this point.
It's even worse now.
It's better now.
And yeah, I woke up and I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna see what I can do. Like, I hopped in the shower, got all cute for you guys.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna go and try and get over there. So I pulled like one of the cars out of the garage over to my car because I didn't want to take someone's car because they had to go somewhere. And tried to jump my car. Spent like 25 minutes trying to get it to go, and it was doing like, you know how when you start a car, but its battery is like almost dead, it just
And it
like
goes
flickers on and off. Yeah. Instead of that, like I attached everything because like I couldn't even use the key fob to unlock the door. And like when I unlocked it, none of the lights came on when I opened the door. I was like, well, this seems quite dead. So I went and I tried to do that, and when I turned the key, it just did like instead of the, so I was like, this is probably not good.
I know those feels.
Yeah, so I don't know. I tried for like 20 minutes of like just revving the other car to try and get some power going through. And then I was like, I just kind of called it, even though I probably could have gotten it started if I kept trying. I was like, I don't want to go somewhere and then not be able to start it again.
Yeah.
So I just like, I can't make it. So then I went back inside and I set everything back up. Kind of hung out for a bit, then went back to sleep.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, we ended up hanging out afterwards, playing. There's a Sunday Chats video up on YouTube.
I did watch that, I think.
We
Yeah.
did a live Sunday Chats, which was fun. And then because people had requested that we do that during Extra Life, but I figured it'd be easier to do it after. Then we played Secret Hitler until like 3 a.m.
Yeah, I'm jealous. I missed all the Secret Hitlering.
There was so much yelling.
They understand.
It was awesome. And it was funny because like Allie was like, I don't really like board games, so I don't really want to play. And she's like screaming at the end. I was so fucking excited. Because I'm like, listen, it's a thing that you hate, board games, and a thing that you love, politics. Like, come on, play with me. I think people are just standing up like, no. And like one time, like we got to like a turn where it's like, if you don't shoot Hitler this turn, we lose. And they shot the wrong person, and then Andrew stood up and was like, "What's up, motherfuckers?" Yeah, so it was
a lot harder when nobody really knows exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, people knew what they were doing by that point. That was like our fifth round.
Because you have three main stages. The first is, I have no idea what the fuck is going on, and I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
The second stage is, I know generally what to do, so I'm a pretty good fascist.
Yeah.
The third stage is, 3 turns in, I know who 90% of everybody is. It's a toss up between 2 people, but generally it's Hitler.
There were some deep cover operations going on. I'll say that much. It was good. And then we went to bed at like 3, and I had to fucking get up at 6 in the morning to take Andrew to the fucking airport.
Yeah, who schedules a flight that early? Like what?
Andrew, when we were sitting in my car driving, he just looked at me. He's like, "Never again." I was like, "Yeah, I fucking bet." Like, I'm miserable right now too. But we had a good conversation. And then I took Roger and Trevor out at around 1, and then everybody else at around 4. And that was that. And then Logan and I just hung out, played Friday the 13th with you, Tony, a little bit. We played Destiny with Greg.
Yep.
Did not finish the raid. I was getting Vietnam flashbacks.
We got close.
But
incredibly
That was funny
close.
from my end, because I was
yeah? Go ahead.
yeah, I
Tony.
was watching.
We were streaming, so I don't know how you were watching. Were you just like over Tony's shoulder?
Basically, yeah.
Okay, I believe it. But yeah, it was fun. Though we had a good time, and then the rest of my week happened. And I missed it.
Yeah, can't aim.
Yeah. And then Geoff Chorney died. Something like that. His computer exploded.
Well, that's good.
But yeah, we had a good time. We missed you, Tony, though.
It's all right. Yeah, like I gotta figure that whole situation out. The timing was super annoying, just because like all that broke and everything, like right as it was starting to be time for all the extra life stuff. So I was like, I don't even have time to fix this right now.
Yeah, we played that Child's Play song by Drake. Why you gotta fight with me at Cheesecake? You know I like to go there. And it was good. We went back. We didn't get Buffalo Blasters or whatever.
Yeah, that's a mistake.
That wasn't a mistake.
It was a mistake.
We got a lot last year, and it was a mistake then. It was a bad time. Did you guys get up to anything?
So Justice League.
Oh yeah, you did. Tell me, Nabishin, what did you think of Justice League?
Justice League is a bad movie. But
yeah,
I could definitely say like I always say, it's like it's funny because like it's a bad movie, but like I like the ending. It didn't justify it, but like I loved how that thing ended. It ended like so strongly for me.
Yeah.
And it's so weird too, because like I've been thinking about it lately too, because like I appreciate Justice League because like unlike Man of Steel and like Batman v Superman, cause Justice League is it's bad, but it's like
it's enjoyable.
No, it's not. It's not really enjoyable. That's the thing.
Okay.
So it's like what Justice League is, they're doing the right things. They just did it badly. Whereas like Batman v Superman, Man of Steel, for me, is like you're doing a terrible thing and you're making it even worse.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those type of things. But yeah, like there's moments in that movie that are like really cool. But like I was with my friend, my best friend Tony, and like Tony, like I go to movies with Tony all the time, and like he's never been like the person to be like get like all fueled up about something and like have to like rant about something. Like he's usually the chill guy, and I'm usually the guy who rants, and like he's usually the one like that chills out or whatever. But he was fucking ranting at the end of this movie. But like it was enjoyable because he never does that, and it was a great like good cathartic thing for me to have my best friend do that. But like at the same time too, like I'll totally see that movie again. Honestly, like me and Tony even like planning to see it again. Like we're kind of gonna rip on it more or less, but like because we're usually like silent in movies, like we're respectable about that. But like we were like whispering to each other like almost the entire movie, just like certain parts. It's like, did that just happen? Like, yeah, it's totally just fucking happened. And it's like, and you know, it's like raising our arms like at certain parts. It's like, what the fuck is that? And everything. Like the best thing I can say about Justice League though is like it's inoffensive. It's
Okay.
like it doesn't offend me like those other two movies did.
Those other two movies that shall not be named.
It
That's
didn't
good.
offend me like that, and like it never reached moments like in Wonder Woman where like there's no like trench scene in that movie whatsoever. But like I will say when Superman eventually gets into that movie and he actually is Superman, like I can't help but smile and enjoy
I'm
that.
back, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome
Hey.
back.
Hi, Jeff.
Welcome back.
Thank you. What did I miss? You gonna start over?
Yeah, we're gonna. All right, start the whole thing over. We talked
All
about
right.
Extra Life. It's fine.
Oh, that was cool. I tuned
Now we're
in for a
talking
bit
about
here and there.
Justice League, the movie.
Now we're talking about Justice League. The movie.
This is when my audio has to come back on.
Yeah.
I'm done with it anyway. Like, but yeah, like it's a bad movie, but like, there's moments I like I said, the ending was I loved. It's corny and stupid and it's lame, but I loved how that movie ended.
Would you say it wasn't entirely a bad time?
It was a bad time. Like,
Okay.
It was
I said entirely.
entirely.
It wasn't entirely a bad time.
Like 4/5 of that movie is a bad time.
Okay. Okay. That's a solid 80%. That's a strong percentile. I would like to see it.
You
I
should
want to
see it.
know.
I would never say like not see that movie.
That's what Jacob Bryan said to me, pretty much. I texted him yesterday morning. I'm like, I need you to tell me about Justice League. And he responded 9 hours later saying, I'm still processing. And I said, so it's a bad movie. And he's like, I wouldn't say bad, but I think you should see it. And I'm like, okay.
It is worth the watch, dude. Like, especially how that movie ends. Like I said, how that ends. It's worth it for at least that.
Okay.
It's like the opposite of Mass Effect 3.
Okay. That's interesting. Where the journey is bad, but the ending is good.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Jeff, how do you feel about Batman versus Superman?
I hated it.
Okay.
Yeah, did not like. I'm one of the few that probably like Suicide Squad more, just because I didn't think Suicide Squad was a good movie by any means. I thought it was pretty bad too. But at least I was kind of engaged in Suicide Squad just because whatever. But Batman or Superman, nah.
And Batman doesn't murder anyone in Suicide Squad?
No, no. And I just couldn't. I almost fall asleep, man. I usually don't fall asleep in theaters, but I was pretty close to it in BVS.
BBC, the movie, the cinematic.
BBC. Yep.
Is your
Get
computer alright?
Get David Attenborough up and that shit. Yeah, it seems to be okay. I rebooted. Everything seems to be fine. I'm
Okay.
not guaranteeing it's not going to fucking shit on me any second, but
Alright, I'll take that.
yeah, so far so good.
At least it was before we started recording.
That's true.
Jeff, I wanna tell you something. It is harder to get you on this podcast than it is to get Greg Miller to come to my house.
I was gonna.
It's literally true.
I was gonna say Greg's not married, but he is married. So
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
He brought his wife with him. That's what we just got to get both of you on the show.
Honestly, like Nabishin's been trying to get me on for a while, and it just hasn't worked out because Friday's kind of Tanya and I's like night to hang out because I used to barely see her during the week because I'd work 12 to 8 and she'd work normal hours like 9 to 5. So I'd get home, she'd go to bed like an hour later, and I would maybe see her Friday and then of the weekends. But lately I've been working 10 to 6. So when Nabishin's like, hey, you want to maybe come on, talk some shit? I'm like, oh fuck yeah, I can actually do it now, and not feel like I'm eating up the entire night and get her all mad at me and stuff. So
Yeah. Instead,
Yeah.
we're just gonna eat up your entire night and get you.
Nah,
mad
that's
at
fine.
Us.
Whatever.
Yeah,
We're
that's
talking
fine.
video games, so I don't really care.
I think that's all I got. Well, there's a few other things I want to cover, but we can do that once we get this show going proper. How you feeling, Jeff? You
Feeling okay. Feeling all right. Yeah, I'm having a few wobbly pops, and I'll probably feel better as the night goes on. I'm a little bit tired. Rough week of work, but hey, I got a new job today actually.
Oh, Mazel
So
tov.
that's cool. Yeah, thank you.
It's all up from here. Don't worry. All right. Are we ready to start recording?
I think so.
Scott.
Well, let me bring up.
I'm
I
very
am-
much not ready to start recording.
I am currently doing my test recording to see if my volume's okay.
Okay.
It's not.
I trust you though. You'll get there.
All right, is it fixed? It's fixed.
All right, I got my Audacity up.
All right. I'm gonna count down from 5 to 1, and on 1, we're all gonna hit record together.
So after one, record together. Got it.
No, on 1.
On 1.
So
Like,
count
when you hear
down
that
from
1, you
3.
hit that button.
So
On 1.
count down from
We're gonna go.
5, and when I say "what" in 1, that's when you hit the record button.
Wait, what?
Right, when
or are you gonna
Alex
say
says
one?
one,
Which
in
one?
one.
I'm gonna say.
So you're
the
gonna say
word-
what and then one,
No, I'm
and
gonna.
I go on.
I'm gonna say the word 1,
Okay.
and when you start to hear that word, you're gonna hit record.
So when you say that word, when I start to hear that word, I
No.
go, okay, gotcha.
So when you start to hear that word being 1, I'm gonna.
So once you say a sentence, I'm gonna go. Gotcha. Okay.
I'm gonna fucking take a hit of this inhaler. Real quick.
I gotcha.
Oh, that's good stuff.
So on 1, right?
On 1.
On 1.
Okay, so I'm still not ready. Do you need me to tell you why?
Why, Tony?
So I'm currently being chased by Jason.
Why are you playing video games while we record this podcast?
Dude, it's just for bonus content, I swear.
Yeah. Who the
I-
fuck does that?
You hear the fight stick clicking in the
Right.
background.
You just hear like all of a sudden
That's
like it
just
accidentally
rude.
gets unmuted and there's a giant finish him.
you just hear fuck.
Yeah. Yep.
So sorry, I was looking at my audio. It's
And then you hear me giggling.
Are you ready, Tony?
Okay, hold on, let me okay, here's the thing.
I swear to God.
I can't just like alt tab over to Audacity. The police arrive in 35 seconds and I'm almost there.
I don't care.
So I'm
Have you
like,
ever thought about that?
But Jason's right behind me,
Is
so
Friday
like
the 13th on Xbox One?
Yes.
Okay. I've been thinking about getting a lot of games
Not
on Xbox
patched.
One recently.
just
There's good
to
reason
try
why.
and justify that purchase of the Xbox One X. Is that really
I don't know, like
you're in too deep at this point, so
The
you got to
Witcher
justify
3
it somehow.
is gonna be like super discounted on Black Friday. I was
You
like,
$20 deep for that entire shit, dude.
I could.
Did
get
you
the whole-
try? Did you try playing it pre-patch that they released a while ago?
No, I haven't done it. I haven't played Witcher 3
Uh,
on Xbox One at all. So
Gotcha. Because if you because if you download it and don't update
And
the
don't
newest
update it,
patch
runs
they
at 60
released,
FPS,
yeah, it's
yeah.
60. Yeah.
I'm thinking
But
about it.
I did the update already, so I can't go back on that.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh
I'll
man,
wait for
that
the-
breaks terms of service because apparently this is still a backwards compatible system.
Apparently,
Even though this is supposed to be the next gen, kind of.
I want them to update Witcher 2. It's just
That'd be
suck.
cool.
That'd be lit. All right, Tony, you ready?
I need you to vamp for approximately 3 minutes.
That's way too long. I will hit this.
Just let Jason catch you, man.
Just let Jason
Alright.
give
I'm
you the
gonna-
sweet release of
I'm gonna
death.
hang out in the next to this tree, crouched, and I don't know if the controller vibrates when you die in this game, but if you hear a loud vibrating, you know I'm dead.
Good. I hope you die.
Jeez.
Alright, so then let's make this quick.
Okay.
In-game.
Audace. All right, that'll work. I'll use this. All right, I'm ready.
All right, 5,
Five,
4,
four,
3. I swear to God,
three.
Scott, I will kill you.
Let's go. Let's go.
5, 4, 3,
1.
2, 1.
All right. Cool. Let's make sure
All right.
Jason doesn't kill me real quick.
I I hope Jason gives
Hey, I'm
you
not
the
dead.
the sweet fucking release of death.
I'm kind of set up though.
I don't care. All right, I'm gonna. Do you have any questions, Jeff? Are you concerned?
No, nothing. Just
I think
fucking
you got
go.
this. Yeah. We talk about video
It's better if I like sound like really dumb and retarded as we go instead of having shit cleared up beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Try
like-
it. Don't
Better
use,
audio.
Don't use the R word. That's my advice to you.
Sorry.
Don't say the R word on this show,
No worries.
and then you'll be fine.
I will not. Why is Scott okay?
I'm fine.
Okay, just wondering.
Scott is also the perpetrator of that the most on the show, so I guess like as
He's
a
been
cold
good,
clock,
though.
that is he's been a good boy.
I come from more like the Louis C.K. thing, which I guess now is kind of a faux
Yeah,
pas.
that's actually a bad
quote
place
anything
to come
else,
from,
but-
my dude.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, like, old school, like, when words were used not to describe what the actual meaning was.
Oh yeah,
it's
I
just
got
like,
you.
eh.
I got you. We just, we got some, let's say some direct feedback about that word specifically.
All right, gotcha. We're not on the air right now, are we?
Oh yeah.
we definitely.
Oh, shit!
It's all right. Don't worry. I'll cut it in post.
Nah, don't worry about it.
I wasn't going to. My lungs have been congested since like last Thursday.
That's not fun.
It's a bad look. All right.
No.
It is Friday, November 17th, 2017, and you are listening to the Irrational Passions podcast. I am your host, Alex O'Neill, and joining me this week is Scott Guthier,
Hello.
Tony Horvath,
I survived.
Brian Nobishin Jackson.
Come together right now. Bad movie.
Um,
Was that something from?
Justice League, I assume?
Well, the trailers had come together. after
Oh,
the
yeah,
promo.
they did. Joining us this week, special guest, Geoff Chorney.
What up, guys? It's been so long. Way
Geoff
too long.
Himself. It has been 4 years, and give
That's
or take.
nuts.
Yeah, that's weird.
That is very weird. Time flies.
So, what's been going on since then? We elected a terrible human being as our president.
Uh-huh.
You don't have to worry
Uh,
about that, though.
What's up with that?
You don't have to worry about that.
We kind of do.
Yeah, you kind of do.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you
Yeah, a little bit.
You guys elected like a super hot guy as your president, though. He seems cool.
Trudeau. He has his own problems. There's a lot of people here that don't like him, too. So,
I'd hang out with him.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, he's
apparently
not
all
on the
he
same
does
level
is
as Trump.
fuck.
Yeah,
Apparently, all he does is fuck.
I'm down
Yeah.
with that.
I mean, he's got a good gig.
Yeah,
And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, he's a good-looking dude.
he's a good-looking guy. My house blew up, and I got an Xbox One X.
Oh, okay.
Well,
That's-
one
that's
of
one of the
those
highlights
was a
of your
mistake.
life.
One of the highlights.
One of those was a mistake.
One of those was a mistake.
Because I like your new house.
Okay. I don't like you insinuating that I made bad purchase decisions. We did an extra live stream last weekend, and it was pretty cool.
How much did we raise out?
We raised like over $2,300.
It's pretty damn good.
For John Hopkins Children's Center, which is awesome. For folks who missed it, there will be archives on youtube.com/irrationalpassions. And it was a good time. We had some special guests. Greg Miller was here. He was on last week's podcast, and it got real weird. We ordered 10 pizzas from
I
Domino's.
think it was.
It was 13.
13? Jesus.
We only needed the original 8 that we were gonna get.
Yo, well, Greg insisted on getting more. He paid for it
Yeah.
and didn't consult us on it. And there were wings and cheesy bread as well.
I mean, let's be real. Like, he told me what to click, and I personally clicked it.
okay. So you chose.
So I was aware of what was happening.
You enabled pineapple pizza to enter my house.
I
Dude,
did.
pineapple
yeah.
pizza is awesome.
But, like, to
I
be
really don't care
fair,
about the
I
other.
wasn't the one who had that idea. And
Okay.
actually, I wasn't the one at my computer while they were putting that in.
Yeah.
It was one Jazz Foster doing that of her own volition. I'm not
Okay.
sure why you're still friends with her.
Fair enough.
Uh-huh.
Seems nice. People here. It was cool. That was like our. I didn't even realize it until like after the fact, even though Greg kept mentioning it, that it was like it. But that was our Giant Bomb E3 show, where there were just like a bunch of people coming on at random times, random guest spots. But like of the group of people that we've had on this show and that we've collaborated with, and that was really cool. That was really fun. Danny O'Dwyer showed up at my house. That was cool. He brought coffee and donuts.
Nice. And his Irish accent.
Oh, he bought all the Irish cream, which is himself. I found
Oh,
out.
for sure.
Very sweet guy. So yeah, it was a great show. We raised a lot of money. We had a lot of fun. We did a lot of dumb stuff, and we had a lot of really fun moments. There will be archives. My plan right now is to get some of them up starting at the end of the month. It's not going to take me as long as it did last time, I don't think. I have all 23 hours and 57 minutes or whatever downloaded to my computer. It's just a matter of like cutting that up and taking out the breaks and getting it organized, posted, and scheduled. So if you missed it, you can still like catch the archive in our past broadcasts on Twitch, and there will be breakouts of each segment going up over time in the coming weeks. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thank you to everyone who donated, tuned in. Thank you to everyone who came and helped us, and special thanks to Troll and John for putting the gear and running the stream together. They killed it. They crushed it. And another special thanks to Jen for cooking for all of us. That was amazing. But Extra Life is done. Geoff is here. The Xbox One X is out.
It
And
is.
we got fucking video games to talk about. Some real quick housekeeping. Outside of Extra Life, some things went up on the website. There was an episode of Input that actually recorded just before Extra Life about the EA acquisition of Respawn and the Telltale layoffs and some of the closings of studios. I was on that episode. We recorded that together, so there's actually a video version of that you can watch that I'm a big fan of. I think I did all right. I was actually a little nervous on that show because they kind of run a bit of a tighter ship, but it was it's about an hour long. It's a good episode. You should check it out. Last week's podcast was kind of like our pre-Extra Life show. Like I said, it was crazy and fun and silly, and also worth a watch if you want to watch the video version of that to kind of see how crazy it gets. And another episode of Input is out from this week, and that is about the IGN strike that happened this week and this whole fucking Battlefront 2 situation that I'm sure we'll talk about a little bit later.
Yeah, it's
and
kind of nuts.
It's kind of, it's spiraled out of control quickly. Jarrett actually wrote a very cool piece about Housemarque and their decision to change away from arcade-style games. And the coolest thing about this, which is titled Housemarque and the Myth of Sisyphus, I believe, is the Greek name.
I believe that is syphilis.
That's a different thing, actually.
Oh, sorry.
I know, like, just pulling from personal experience, Geoff. Like,
Well, you know.
Sisyphus is the guy who pushed the boulder up, and it would fall back down, and then he'd push it back up again, and it would fall back down, and eventually he could no longer push the boulder back up. He did an audio version of that article, so you can listen to Jarrett's dulcet tones just serenading you. So that's worth a listen if you've got the time. So a lot of people really liked it. I don't think the analogy worked quite well for me, but it's incredibly well written, as is everything that Jarrett writes. So it's still worth a look. It's pretty short too. And that's it for housekeeping for now. We got there's some cool stuff cooking behind the scenes. Coming out of Extra Life, we got a little bit of momentum built up. And we are in the time of the year where I'm thinking about Game of the Year. And I could tell people that if they were expecting top 10 Game of the Year guest podcasts, that we are not doing that. this year. So do not expect those.
Damn.
There is your definitive line in the sand.
Crush my hopes and dreams.
Yeah, I'm gonna just tell you right now, Jeff. You can keep asking. It's
God
not
damn
happening.
it.
You can't have Killer Instinct be your game of the year again.
Yeah, you can't do this to me again. The last time you were on Irrational Passions podcast was your 2013 top 10 game of the year, which I don't think
there's no way I picked Killer Instinct as my game of the year.
It wasn't your game of the year that year. I can't remember.
I was gonna say there's no way it was
It
Killer
might have been
Instinct.
did that with
Titanfall?
Nabashin,
No,
so.
that was year after.
Titanfall would have been the year after. Yeah,
It was
that
March.
year would have been Last of Us, probably.
Yeah,
Was that Last of Us?
that was 2013. Was Last of Us.
It was probably Last of Us. Yeah.
Okay. So I have ideas on what we're gonna do instead of top 10 game of the years. We might just not do anything and just do our game of the year show. Like I said, I have an idea. I don't know how I feel about it quite yet. We'll see. That's it. Let's talk about fucking video games because
Yeah.
we didn't really talk about video games last week because it was a fucking train wreck. So I wanna talk about some video games. I got an Xbox One X. Jeff, you got an Xbox One X.
I did, yes.
Let's talk about it.
All right, sure.
What do you think? You have a 4K TV, I assume.
I do. Do you?
I do not.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But I'm still having a great experience with it. I want to.
Well, Joe Fate, Aces High, Fate, the little dude. You all know him, the boy. He got one too, and he's playing on a 1080p screen.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been playing some of the throwback games like Halo 5 and stuff that have been updated, and he's noticing a difference like right away.
Yeah.
And that's one of the different like that game didn't have the best aliasing or anti-aliasing. It was kind of the resolution wasn't the best. So even on a 1080p screen, games like that, you'll see a noticeable difference. I can't say because I don't have a 1080p screen anymore. So, but from Joe, he's seeing a big difference in the games that he has updated. Even Gears of War 4, which is also downsampled, he's seeing a big difference. And he's saying like you can play. I mean, with 1080, a lot of the games have a 1080p 60 frames mode, which you'll definitely get a thing on. But in 4K HDR set, wow, like wow, like I've never seen better looking games. And I don't PC game, so it's a full disclosure. I tried to get into it years ago when I got this PC that I've been having a lot of problems with tonight.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't get into it, even though I was like, yeah, they look better, but I just don't want to deal with all the drivers and updating shit, even though funny now you have to update shit on console all the time.
Yeah.
But at least it's automatic. And I right away I was like, holy shit. And I have a PS4 Pro too, so like certain games I was like, damn, I'm happy I bought this. Like this is, I don't know. What are you seeing? Like I want to go into like when you slowly start talking to games to go into detail, but I will say from the first week I am extremely impressed of what that thing can actually do.
I did a similar thing to you. I went back to the classics. I did everything but Quantum Break was the only game I was like,
yeah, I didn't go back to that.
I'm not gonna wait for 80 gigabytes of this to download. Like, I'm good.
That's even if you don't download the videos too. If you download the videos, it's like adds like another 60 gigs or something like that. It's like retarded.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
There it is. First one.
You can beat
So
that
everyone, drink if you're at home. Drink.
Oh, I just drank.
No, I spent the first full day downloading all my games again. Which, you know, I traded in. I had the original Xbox One. I don't know if you had the S, Jeff.
I had the original. I did not have the S.
Ends up GameStop doesn't take the Kinect anymore, the original
Oh,
Kinect.
they took mine, but they gave me $5 for it.
They just told me like straight up like we're not doing this. So I was like, fucking man, I'm getting that Kinect adapter. I'm gonna chase.
May as well do it.
Because I like the voice commands. I remember like you were really frustrated with the Cortana stuff, and
The Cortana stuff was really messed up.
I told you how to get back to that original, that OG.
Yep, exactly. Because I hated it, and I did not like that. But I still use it all the time for like Xbox record that stuff and take a screenshot.
Yeah,
I loved it for that
especially.
stuff. But yeah, it's.
So I went back, a little Rise of the Tomb Raider. Rise of the Tomb Raider is really great too
my
because
God.
you can
I can't wait.
you can pause that game mid cutscene and just switch the visual setting.
That
So it has a native 4K render, an enhanced visual render, and then a high frame rate render.
Yeah.
So I played around with all of them. The 4K enhanced visual one basically looked the same, but it looks very for my TV. But
For your TV, yeah.
Yeah, it looks very good.
And they added in a lot more special effects.
Yes,
a lot, especially if you played. Did you do the opening scene like on the mountains?
I was like somewhere in the middle. So I did like a set piece where a
Gotcha.
helicopter blew up. So,
Oh yeah, when you're going down the mountain in the Jeep or whatever.
yeah, it was good.
Yeah, that was one of the most impressive ones I've played as well. They did a good job, and even the one that's not the 4K one, still, if you have a 4K TV, still outputs at a very high resolution. So it's not just 1080p and better frame rate. It's actually 1440 or something like that. It's actually like it's the equivalent of the Pro's high version, if that makes sense. But that's the performance one on the Xbox One X. So it's still outputting a really high resolution and still giving you that frame rate. And it's pretty impressive. I choose, like, 'cause I play that game in 30 frames, so I don't mind playing in 30. So when I tested it, I'm just going right to the full out high visuals, and I was like, damn, I'm gonna play through this again, because I already thought it was a good looking game, but it's so crisp. There's some points, especially at the beginning of that game, that look photorealistic. That's how crisp and how clear and how well they do with the light. Like, so you're not even seeing these games in HDR, are you?
No.
That's
the thing I'm missing out on.
He hasn't been ruined yet, Jeff.
No, yeah. Oh my god. Like HDR is probably the bigger wow factor, I think. And you can get HDR, like regular PS4 does it, and so does Xbox One S. But you still have to have an HDR compatible TV. Yeah. But I think that is the thing that's more. That's the thing I think more people will notice. Like Tanya, she usually doesn't notice difference in graphics. And Gears 4 has a mode where it splits the screen in half. One side's HDR, the other one is not HDR. Whoa. So in real time, you're seeing the difference. And she saw that, and she's like, "Oh wow!" And she's like, "It literally makes non-HDR stuff look washed out, even though you'd never think that just playing it without HDR. It's just it's crazy the difference it makes."
Yeah, because I've seen some 4K like TVs at this point with good HDR, so I'm kind of like I can tell a little ruined, I guess, but I'm like once I'm an hour into a play session, it just doesn't.
Oh, you won't care. Yeah. Like you won't. It's also one of those things. If you don't see it, you won't know you're missing it at all. Like I played. I have Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, which, like, quick take, is a lot better than Uncharted 4. I just want to put that out there. In my opinion, I was like, okay, I'm playing this because I don't think I had the 4K TV yet. I can't remember. I think I did, but I didn't realize I didn't have HDR on or something. And then I turned it on. And I was like, wow. I'm like, I've been missing out. Like, I had my input wrong on my TV. That's what happened. I had it on in the game, but my TV input, where I had the PlayStation 4 Pro going to, didn't have HDR enabled. So I enabled that. And that's another thing, people listening, or you guys, when you get a 4K TV with HDR, chances are the inputs don't come shipped with that automatically on. You have to go into settings and turn it on for the input.
You literally have to do your homework when it comes to 4K TVs, like in general.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, it's one of those things you will not notice if you don't see it. If you've never seen it, even if you've seen it, but you don't turn it on your own like settings or environment that you're playing a game in, you probably won't care. But the second you do see it and turn it on, you're gonna be like, well, I can't go back. I can't.
Yeah, how ruined of a person are you now? Like going to friends' houses and stuff like that, looking at their TVs.
Plebeian. Yeah, like, what is this? You think this looks good, but then you'll play like something like Mario Odyssey and be like, damn, this looks pretty cool.
Exactly.
But yeah,
I like Rise of the Tomb Raider, man. Like that enhanced visuals mode, like you see some clothing textures where you're like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Some hair effects where you're just watching Lara's hair instead of her, like everything else in the cutscene.
Yeah. And you're on a 1080p, and you can still see. Yeah, the downsampling is really well done on that, and the Pro is actually pretty well done on that too.
Yeah. So it's there's definitely a significant difference. I would say the most, even with Assassin's Creed Origins, which we'll loop back around to. And
I have not played that yet.
Did HDR for that game is bonkers.
Really good.
It just makes me fucking sad.
I have too much stuff to play right now, so I'm waiting maybe for Christmas for that one. Did you try any of the old games like Halo 3 or Fallout 3 or Oblivion?
I didn't do any of the 360 stuff. I did just Rise of the Tomb Raider, Halo 5, which does look and runs really, really well, and
Yeah.
Gears of War, because I want to see what that game looks like at 60 frames.
The 4?
Yeah. It looks very good.
Yeah.
Is Gears of War 3 also?
Gears of War 3 is also enhanced too.
Okay.
Not HDR, but 4K and the 4K textures. That's the big difference. Like, I like the fact that a lot of these games aren't just getting the 1080p assets in 4K. They're actually getting 4K assets. Like Gears 4 doesn't have the same on Xbox One. Doesn't have the same textures as the Xbox One S version of it. They're brand new. Like they have way more detail in them. That's why it's like 107 gigs. But there's a downside to that part. You're going to be downloading a shitload of megs and gigs and to get these games looking that good. But yeah, 3 looks good. It's very crisp. Looks like you'll play it and you would think it was like a next gen game. That's 3. But 3 looked pretty good at the time, even back then. And Halo 3 character models and stuff looks kind of clunky because it looks kind of aged in that aspect. But when you're actually playing the game, again, it's just razor sharp. It's just I don't know if you'd notice that on a 1080p screen though. That's something I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think like if you have an eye for aliasing, like you'll get a little bit of that. There is a noticeable difference at the very least from my experience, and like it's nice to because it's just zero performance issues across the board.
Oh yeah,
like, everything runs perfectly.
Yeah, loading times are pretty well done.
Yeah, I would say like loading times is the thing I notice the least.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit better, but not.
I think I'm just conditioned to have long loading times and everything to this point.
Yeah,
it's just everything loads.
I don't think it's like noticeable enough to be a selling point. Loading time specifically.
Some games like Shadow of War goes from it's cut in half. There's a few games that Digital Foundry stuff have done tests in that are literally reduced by in some cases like 30 to 40 seconds.
Okay.
So it really depends on what you're playing, which game it is. Also, I haven't really noticed either because a lot of the games I've played on the X, I didn't play on the original Xbox One, so I can't really say. And I still think some of the loading times are pretty long-ish. So especially with something like Forza 7.
Shadow of War, I played a great amount on the original Xbox One, and once I got the One X, I've kind of switched over to Assassin's Creed for the most part.
Gotcha.
But I did like play a little Shadow of War, and it's just like the Talian's character model. He just looks like a different person.
Yeah.
Like
he still looks like a generic asshole.
Yeah, he looks like a generic white male protagonist, but he just like the textures on him are like completely different. His hair looks different.
That's another one. They actually have the 4K PC assets that were downloadable.
So it looks a lot better, but in general, I will say it's weird that before I installed everything, you only have 760 gigabytes available in the hard drive. I don't know what is taking up that space. Something.
I don't know. UI stuff maybe. With the OS, they probably reserve some stuff for the OS and updates. Like the only game I didn't really see a big difference was Titanfall 2. But apparently when that was first patched, it was actually running not the greatest, but they've since patched it, so I need to go ahead and test that again. But how do you feel about the whole like upgrading? Because I guess was Scott who was saying, he was basically saying a waste of money, or one was a waste, one was whatever. And what's your outlook on that?
I mean, it's weird because this feels like an investment that will last. Like, I mean, fingers crossed, fucking who knows, but
oh yeah, right.
I like it is a nice. It makes me want to play games on it, which God knows nothing made me want to play games on my Xbox One before. And it feels like if I do at some point get a 4K TV 7 years from now, realistically, I'll notice and feel a difference at that point.
7 years from now, you'll probably be able to get one on Black Friday for like probably $300.
I mean,
just sell a kidney.
All right, I got that. Yeah, I can handle that. But yeah, it feels like it was significant, and it feels significant for me. And I also got it for like $46.
Okay, trade-ins and stuff.
All the stuff that I got rid of to get it, because I haven't like traded in games in like 4 years, I think.
Oh shit! So you had a collection building. You probably had stuff you can trade in that was worth more than $2. 50 cents.
Like a couple of things that were worth more than $2. I got $217 for just the games that I traded in because I had some like old Super Nintendo games that I now have on my beautiful Super Nintendo Classic, and things like that. That I'm not like I don't have a Super Nintendo. I can't play them. So those were like a secret gold mine for GameStop trade-ins. I held on to a couple of things for nostalgia's sake, but that's about it. Like fucking, I had old Pokemon Sapphire and Emerald that were worth like $20 each or something. So yeah, think about that.
That's how I got my Switch. I'll go into that later, but I traded a bunch of shit and got that basically for free.
So, and I have like an old iPhone that I got rid of. So, yeah, I don't feel bad about it. I traded my old Xbox One for it. That was $100 too. So I got a great deal. So I'm not too worried about it. But it does feel like it feels like a very nice machine. And
it'll probably become your multi-platform machine moving forward.
Yeah,
even if you don't have a 10 or a 4K TV. Like if you have a 4K TV, it makes it that much like more worth it. But the difference on those games are tangible, even if you don't have one.
Yeah.
And the biggest argument I keep saying is, well, you can just get everything on a PC, all the Xbox One exclusives, and you can get a better PC, which is true. Technically, that is true. But we don't live in a vacuum where people can be like, I have a PlayStation 4 and my other option is to buy a new PC. Or I have an Xbox One, I'm going to upgrade to a new PC and get a PS4. Or I have a Switch and I'm going to buy a PC. Like a lot of people are going to be like, well, you can just play all the exclusives on a PC. But not everyone can do that. And as much to people hate like to admit it, and this has been put across by any of the big tech sites, Digital Foundry, whatever, you cannot build a PC for $500 that does what this thing can do. Like you can. It's been proven like you cannot. Like especially one that comes with an ultra Blu-ray player and stuff like ultra HD Blu-ray player. It can. It's a pretty decent value. It is kind of expensive. But that's not a world we live in where everybody has the option to do PC and whatever. I don't.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, like, in a perfect world, because I know Scott and Tony have wanted me to get on the PC bandwagon forever. In a perfect world, I would, but I also wouldn't be able to get rid of a whole bunch of things taking up dust on my shelf toward getting a PC or PC parts.
Yeah, and I don't like gaming on a PC. I just don't like it. I can't stand it. It's the funny part is I kind of grew up playing games on PC, like after ColecoVision, until I got like a Sega Master System. I just never stuck with it.
Pour out for some reason.
Hell yeah.
No, I get it. I don't mind playing games on PC. I wanted to. I honestly, above all, I wanted to see how this thing, like how it did, and it's done very well for me so far. So I'm happy with it. I will see what changes in the years to come, but I'm open to this being like a primary platform.
Definitely get a 4K TV though. Same if anyone has a Pro. Like if you have a PS4 Pro, get a 4K TV. You'll get more out of it.
Yeah.
And
I've never wanted a PS4 Pro. Also, is a weird thing, but I wanted an Xbox One X.
I got a PS4 Pro day one as well, and I will say this: Microsoft has been way better. And this is be like, oh, the Xbox again, but this is just truth. They have been way better at backing up the Xbox One X before it even came out. Like when I got the Pro, I bought Dishonored 2, thinking it was gonna have PS4 Pro support. It didn't. So I had like two things that had Pro support when I got it for like a month or like 2 months. And day one with the X, I had fucking like 8 games to try out that night. Yeah, some of them are older, but they were still
some
enhanced.
360 games, which is just weird. That's
that just the fact that they even fucking did that was unbelievable. But that's why I'm hoping that because the X is doing what it's doing, I think developers now have more of an incentive to make a better Pro upgrade for games.
Yeah.
Because it's now worth their time. Because even though they're not selling to one big installed base, one mediocre installed base, now they have one small installed base and another small installed base, but at least combined, it might be worth it for them to actually put forth the effort. Because I like on the Pro, some of the games just didn't, and no fault to Sony or the system, just some of the third parties just barely did anything with it. And if they did, it's like some of the games even ran worse on it. And I was like, how is this possible? Like, don't Like, why are you doing this? Like, why would you? I don't know if you read any things like Final Fantasy 15 didn't run the best on it.
We talked about
Things
it
like
on the
that.
show, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I played it on. I played Final Fantasy 15 on the Pro, and I didn't think it was that bad at all. Because like, yeah, it's had frame pacing issues, but the game ran pretty much fine. I thought it looked great. I didn't have my 4K TV at the time, so I was doing 1080p. So I was doing the light mode where it was like higher frame rate, but I thought it was great. But then not too many games have been taking advantage of it. So I'm hoping the two of them combined will kind of push developers to be like, okay, you know what? It's actually more worth it to actually make these things take advantage of what the power that's there.
Jeff, why do you think PlayStation's just pretty much silent about the Pro right now? Like even after like the Xbox One came out or Xbox One X came out, like it's $100 cheaper. You could say like, hey, we're a cheaper system. We can do something. We can pretty much do the same thing. Not exactly the same thing, obviously, but like, do you like there's like it's pretty much silent now. Like even
I don't know. That's like Sony's MO though. They bring something out and they put it in everyone's face, and like 4 months later, it's nothing. Like look at the VR.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's like I have a VR. I got one for Christmas. Love the thing, but ever since then the launch, you don't hear much of it. Like there's no advertising for it. There's nothing. And the Pro, same kind of thing. And I thought they would have. They'll probably drop the price. I think. I guess they only have like a month to do it. Do you guys think they're going to do it? Drop it by $50? Probably not.
I mean, if they were going to do, they would have done it by now. Like
Black Friday, I figured
like around the corner.
Like they should have. They should have done it before
I'm
Black
betting
Friday.
a bunch of places will offer a deal, but
yeah, Black Friday deals
about
are
it.
out that
Yeah.
Pro is going to be $450 instead of or $350 instead of $400. So
Yeah. So but they should be advertising. That's probably on the retailer though, not on Sony.
that is
Right.
on the retailer,
Yeah, if that was on Sony, they would be all over the place, and I'm surprised they haven't because it is $100 cheaper. A lot of people who haven't bought into 4K yet, or have but aren't too, I guess, educated on it, they don't know the difference between how PS4 does 4K versus the Xbox One X. They don't care. PS4 is already being the shit of Xbox One, so they're already going to have that momentum going, and I really don't know. They should. I figure they would have made a big push too, especially around last week. I honestly, it's a good question. I don't know. Maybe they're just comfortable. Maybe they just think, you know what, we don't have to worry about it.
yeah, I mean, like I assume it's just because they don't want to alienate anyone. But like even PSVR, during their Paris Games Week, they had a huge section devoted to that. So that's getting more love than any kind of specific PS4 Pro mentions.
For sure, but that's on Paris Game Week. That is very, very niche. No one out there. There's no one out in the mainstream knows anything that happened at Paris Games Week.
Yeah, no one knows what a Pro is. That's my thing about it.
That's the thing, exactly.
People know what an Xbox One X is. My nephew asked me about the Xbox One X. I think it's a new system. It's not, but like he's because of how they market it that way. I don't know
if he's heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's all. It's all advertising. It's all marketing and how you do it. And Microsoft has always been good at doing that. They throw something in your face and they'll use buzzwords and terms and whatever that kind of gets ingrained in your brain. PS4 Pro dynamic 4K versus Xbox One X, the most powerful console in the world. Which one is going to be more appealing? It's like what the fuck is dynamic 4K? Like, yeah, but most powerful console. All right, cool. But again, I think the one issue they both had when they launched these is you can't really show people what they can do unless they see it in person. And there was no PS4 Pro kiosks when I got my Pro around launch. There's no Xbox One X kiosks, at least not in like Best Buys and stuff like that around here. I'm not sure there might be there.
They need a 4K TV with HDR in that.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't bet my store.
Yeah.
I actually saw. I played an Xbox One X on a 4K TV with HDR like the week before it came out.
Was it the Microsoft store?
Yeah, it was like a Microsoft kiosk.
Yeah, that's why.
I played Forza and I crashed my car into a wall like 7 times because I'm terrible at that. And I was like, all right, this seems okay, I guess. Looks pretty. They had Cuphead like listed on there, but it wasn't downloaded. And I was like,
that's disappointing.
This thing sucks, and I threw it at the controller right there. No,
Navashin. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, please.
No, I was going to ask, because Navashin, you have a 4K TV, right?
Yes.
But you do not have an X-Play. You're waiting till... I think I talked to you about this earlier. We're basically waiting.
I'm literally getting on with it.
Oh, okay.
There you
gotcha.
go.
When I get paid. Like... It is one of those things where I felt like I needed to wait, like because like it's like, do I really need this thing? Do I really, really need this thing? And it's obviously no. I don't even need a 4K TV.
No one needs any of this shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but it's like I said, 4K has ruined my life. Like I've said this on the show like multiple times, and it's just like I can't go back. I went to Extra Life. I can't play on any other TVs. That's why I just brought TVs for other people to play, because I can't play on those TVs anymore. And the only time I played was to play the SNES Classic. So it was just like
it's true, man. That's I didn't need a 4K. I guess I got the Pro at launch. I didn't get my 4K TV till just a few months ago. A few months ago. I can't remember the exact date. But until my buddy got one, and I brought over my PS4 Pro to his house. And this is funny because he has a PS4, and we hooked up the PS4 Pro, and we started playing games, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
I was like, we threw in Final Fantasy 15. I was like, "Oh my!" And Horizon Zero Dawn. Once I saw that, I'm like, "I need a 4K. This is bullshit. I've been slumming it up. What the fuck's wrong with me? I sell my cat. See what I can do here." Tanya said no on the 4K TV for a while, and then I told her. I made her promise if my TV I wanted got to a certain price, I'd be able to get it. And she said, okay, fine. Probably thinking it wasn't going to drop to that price. And then it ended up dropping to that price a couple months later. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting it. And then the reverse effect. My buddy says I went to has the 4K TV who didn't have a PS4 Pro. He went and bought a PS4 Pro the next week. Traded in his PS4 and got a Pro. Because, yeah, he's seeing those games. I was like, yeah. And it's, I'm not going to say it ruined me. But I'm definitely more picky, and just I could definitely notice things a lot more, like going back and playing the Xbox One games that are not Xbox One X enhanced. Right away I'm like, jaggies, the draw in's crazy, the texture pop in. That's another thing that no one really talks about. Even if you have a 1080p screen, like on these consoles, the texture pop in and everything is so much less frequent, and the draw distance is way further back. And it's something that's that's something you notice like right away going back. Anywho, games are expensive.
Yeah, they fucking are, dude. And it's like I have my best friend Mark. Like I go to his house constantly, and we play games together. And like it was around when like Resident Evil 7 came out, and like I have it on 4K at my house. HDR looks amazing. I go to his house, I can't see fucking thing on his screen. And it's just like everything's so small, and it's like, and his TV is like, it's a fine TV, but it's like it's not what I can see at my house. So it's like, it's just so hard for me to to convert, or like to dial back and just like do something on this, and it makes me feel like an asshole, and that's the baddest thing about it.
Well, that's the thing. Even talking about it right now, I feel like a dick. But it's one of those things. It's like well, look at HD when like 360 and PS3 were a thing. No one gave a shit about HD when these consoles came out until you actually saw them running in HD. And then once you saw them running in HD, and this is back when like 720 was like the standard, or even some games were less than that. It was like, holy shit! Like the difference is mind-blowing. And then now it's a standard. This 4K will be the standard within the next 2 years, I think. I mean, I think this year is going to be the big year for it. Like this year is going to be, and definitely not mass market stuff yet, but I think this Black Friday, this holiday is when a lot of people are going to upgrade, because there's a reason to now. You got 2 consoles that do it, and a lot more channels like even streaming devices, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon. There's now streaming in 4K HDR. So now there's a reason to, and I think there's going to be a pretty big boom this year and next year for sure.
Yeah, and like for anyone who's listening, just please do your research on TV when you do,
yes,
because like it's so easy just to get something
dude
completely fucked.
If I didn't, I almost bought one at Costco. I was like, holy shit, this is a really good thing for. And Tony talked me out of it. And I was like, what the hell? Okay, well, I guess I won't get it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to start doing research. And I'm glad I didn't buy it, because that was one of the lower rated ones, terrible input lag for games, didn't have HDR. And then I was like, oh, shit. Like, okay. Then I started researching. And took me a good 6 months of researching before I picked the one I wanted. And I was like, I'm happy with it. But yes, do it. Research it. Research all the different kinds of HDRs, input lag. Yeah.
Both of you. You have a Logitech, right? Option.
I have a Samsung.
I got a Vizio.
Okay.
Yeah, I got the P series, which they unfortunately discontinued. I think until probably next year. I think they'll probably bring out the next one.
The Samsung I got was the best TV you could possibly get at that time. So like, it's
the KS 8000 or something like that.
Yeah,
I'm guessing
exactly that.
Yep, that's a good TV. They don't sell that here for some reason. So
Mm.
I got the next best one, which is the Vizio P series.
Because it's ungodly expensive, I think.
What, the Samsung?
Yeah.
No,
That's
it was
when you
actually.
got it, at least. No, I'm sure.
Oh, when Nabishin got it, maybe.
It was $1,000 when I got it.
Yeah, that's about what it was because I actually considered driving to Buffalo to get it, and then I was like, wait a second, gas. I'll have to claim it because there's no way I'm hiding a TV under like a blanket in the back of my car. I'll have to pay the tax.
This.
Yeah, so like,
NAFTA.
not worth it.
Let's see how you can do for me this time.
Anyway, Xbox One X. I'm enjoying it
So
quite a
you've got
bit.
an Xbox One X. What are you playing on it?
Oh man. Besides all the stuff we just talked about, because it's the new hotness, the new shiny. I've been playing Shadow of War.
That early October game, dude. October's gone.
Well,
man.
so I bought Shadow of War and Forza 7 on day one. I didn't open them until Xbox One X came out.
Okay.
So
I played Shadow of War like toward the end of October, so I'm close to where you're at.
Gotcha. I wanted to treat the Xbox One X like a launch. I wanted to make sure I had stuff that I knew was enhanced so I wouldn't get sick of the games. I wish I played Shadow of War before I got. Did you like it?
I haven't finished it. I've played 5 hours of it, maybe.
Okay, so
have you finished it?
No, God, no. I think I didn't even get to the part where you like take over people and
I
recruit
can't
them.
control orcs yet.
Neither can I.
I'm in the second area.
That's where I am.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'm probably right around where you're at. I talked to Spider Lady for a second time.
Yep. Same here.
Okay.
That's right where I stopped actually, right after that part.
Yeah,
and I followed Gollum around for a bit.
Yeah.
And then was
did the mission after that. So, man, Shadow War's all right.
I loved the first one.
I did too.
That was our game of the year, and his game of the year that came out. It wasn't my personal game of the year, but it was our overall game of the year. And I thought it was going to be more of that, and it is. That's exactly what it is. But I think they added too much to it, like way too much.
Yeah, it's got a lot going on. There's like, it seems like there's like 12 maps, and I've been to 2 of them. There are a lot of orcs in each area. There's like a lot.
That's one of my biggest complaints. That is my biggest complaint. Is that all the captains like. I went into one area. This is when I basically thought I said I'm done because you'll be sitting and you do it in your missions. You just kind of want to like explore the area and you'll fight some orcs here and there. That's how the first one went. But there's so many orcs or Urks, whatever, everywhere. You all of a sudden a captain will be like, oh, there you are. I'm gonna gut you and cut your throat. Blah, blah, eat you for dinner. And wow, they're like, okay, I'm gonna take this guy down. You're 2 minutes into fighting that dude, then all of a sudden another one comes, hey, I'm gonna fucking shoot an arrow in your eye and pull it out your ass. And they're like, okay, well, I gotta fight this guy now. This happens like 3 times. You're fighting 3 of them. I finally killed them all. I'm like, okay, that was all right, I guess. All right, sure. There's nobody around me. I turn around to walk away. All of a sudden, the screen swings around the camera, and there's a dude, captain again, right behind me. I'm like, okay, this is dumb. Like he just spawned. Obviously, the game spawned him right behind me. He was definitely not there because I'm collecting the loot, looking around, and all of a sudden he's 2 feet away from me. It's too much. It ruined the flow for me. I think the game has like no flow because of that. It's like you can never get in a good rhythm.
I haven't been hit that bad. Usually it's just like at most 2 at a time. Usually it's because they're fighting and I am interrupting that fight. So like I'm kind of expecting it. There's definitely there's like more loot this time. Before you had like gems that you could slot into your weapons to kind of give them attributes. Now you just get a different weapon, like a different dagger for stealth kills, a different sword, a different bow, and a different cloak and armor.
Yeah, an armor, cloak. Yeah.
And they have attributes just like tied to them, and they'll drop loot.
Challenges.
You can break them down for currency to buy like slots for attributes for those weapons. So and that all seems fine. Like it's not too much. It's like 5 pieces of loot, so it's like, okay, this isn't too overwhelming. And it's similar in Assassin's Creed where it's not too overwhelming, which I like. But yeah, it's, I don't know, like the running and jumping in that game is just like so dumb. Like if you're going,
did you open the double jump?
Tap.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah, you can just tap up and you just start like shooting,
rocketing up
like, vertically up a wall. And it's like, all right, I guess like they really don't care. and there are towers, and you like go into this vision thing when you're in a tower, and you have to like locate each collectible in that area of that tower, and as opposed to it all just popping in,
just showing
which
in
is
there.
fine because you kind of get a little bit more acquainted with each piece of each optional objective you're seeing.
As dumb as it sounds, for some reason that gave me more incentive to get those things than if it just showed up.
Yeah,
It's stupid,
and usually
but it
it's
did.
like 5 things. It's not.
Yeah, it's not a
too
lot.
much.
Yeah.
It's
But-
weird because like I jumped from this to Assassin's Creed, which is like Assassin's Creed Origins takes things from the first Shadow of War, which took things from Assassin's Creed. So it's I'm in a weird spot with Shadow of War now because it's been a couple weeks since I played it now. But
I'm gonna give it a
I
rest
like
for a
it.
bit. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I like playing it when it flows well, but then the second all that other shit happens and the loot, I'm fine with loot, but there's so much and there's so much loot that eventually drops, and then there's what I liked about the first one is you had your 2 basic weapons, you had your dagger and you had your sword, and you upgraded them based on these challenges that you picked up in the map. I like that. That's how you upgraded that stuff, and that stuff's pretty much gone now. And now I don't want Diablo in my Mordor. I'm just I'm just being an old grumpy asshole. But I think they changed that game for the worst. They made it too complicated. Not complicated. Complicated is not the right word. Because it's not complicated. It's just too noisy, I guess.
Yeah, there's just a lot going on at any given second.
Yeah, and there's a lot of micromanaging apparently that once you get to the part where you can recruit people and build up your armies, and you have to send them to fight different things to build up their levels and have them fight in arena. And I was like, you know what? Nah, there's like other games coming out soon. I was going to put this on the shelf for a bit. Put it on hold.
Yeah, I definitely I want to go back to it, but I jumped to Assassin's Creed. I did a similar thing. I got the Target had that buy 2 get 1 deal, so I got Wolfenstein, Assassin's Creed, and Shadow of War all together for Xbox One with the intention of then getting Xbox One X. So I played Shadow of War, and then I played a little bit of Shadow of War, and now I'm like fully into Assassin's Creed. So I kind of jumped ship pretty quickly, but Shadow of War is fine. I do want to go back to it. It's just it's got a good loop, and I want to get to the part where you're kind of capturing orcs and having them do stuff and taking down war chiefs instead of just captains and getting information on them. So I want to see how all of that ties together in this kind of wider world that they're creating, but we'll see. I'm with you. I get you.
Yeah, it's going to be on the back burner for a bit. Let's put it that way. Forza 7. I'm a big Forza guy.
Okay.
At least I was. I'm a Forza Horizon guy more than anything now because it's more arcadey. I really like the open worldness to it. Forza 7 looks absolutely disgustingly gorgeous. That's probably the closest game I've ever seen to photorealism that I've ever seen. If you ever get a 4K TV, like Nabishin, if you get an X, even if you don't like Forza 7, rent or just buy that game just to be like, yo, check this out. It's ridiculous. But what I really liked about the Forza games, the proper ones, is they had a really good progression system where you would pick a car you wanted to drive and you would do a circuit, and then it would give you 3 options: stay in your same car, pick a new car, suggest a car for me, or whatever. If you pick stay in the same car, it would be like, all right, here you go. Here's another circuit that you can advance the campaign in, but you can stay in the same car you're in. There's a constant flow to it, and you can just play it how you want to play it. Now, you can't do that because cars are graded on a tier system, tier 1, 2, and 3. To open up the tiers, you have to buy certain cars in that specific tier you're in and race in them to get your tier points, which then lets you open up the other cars.
Gran Turismo. Got it.
It's they went more Gran Turismo, which is like the one thing they had above Gran Turismo was not being Gran Turismo. Like that was like their biggest thing going. Yeah, like it was total ultimate freedom. You can do whatever the hell you wanted to, pick whatever cars you wanted to, do whatever. You didn't even pick a circuit you wanted to do and be like, oh, you don't have a car? Oh, here's just the cars. Here's a car that's in that class. And if you want to buy a new car, people are listening. If they want to hit me up on Twitter, it is Geoff. I haven't figured this out yet. You cannot buy a car by going to the type of car the make of car is. Like in the other games, you go to Honda, have all the Honda cars. You go to Chrysler, all the Chrysler cars. Like Ford, all the Ford cars. No, this has the tiers, and then they're all scattered, and you have to literally look at them. Like you have to see like which car is it, and not in any alphabetical order, anything like that. And it's just so annoying that it just. I feel like the theme of what I'm saying here is the flow, but the flow of the gameplay of Forza 7 can suck my balls because it's totally backwards from what they were doing really, really well. Especially, I didn't play 6, but in 5 they did it so well. I didn't get bored. I'd play that game for maybe a couple hours at a time when I was really into it. I've played Forza 7 maybe 3 or 4 races, then go to something else. And then a couple days later, I'll play Forza 7 again. A couple races, go to something else, just because that flow is not there. And they have the whole loot box thing, which we'll get into that, I'm sure, when we talk about Battlefront. But it's not paid for loot boxes, which almost makes me even more mad because you can't use real money to buy them, but you have to buy them, and it opens up mods, which mods are things you can put on a race, like get double XP, get 50% more credits. Maybe you'll get a car. But that's how you do it now, where the other games, you just raced. And that's how you got experience. That's how you got money. That's how you got new cars. It's just really weird. I don't like the way they did it.
Are you afraid that might creep into Horizon?
If that goes into Horizons, I will lose my shit. I will absolutely lose my shit. Because Horizon 3 is probably one of my favorite racing games of all time. Like that's up there with Burnout 3 and like stuff like that. Paradise, like it's, yeah.
Did that get patched yet?
No. Burnout 3 or Burnout Paradise? 3? No, I don't think so.
Horizon 3.
All right, no, it's coming out in February, I think they said, or January. Okay. And I can guarantee you the only reason why is because they want to keep Forza 7 as being the only one enhanced Forza game until the next year. Till after Christmas. That's the only reason I can think of, because they already have the assets on PC and they can easily like just port that over. And yeah, I'm guessing they can easily do it because they've done it for everything else. So that's the only thing that I can, tinfoil hat. I don't know. But yeah, they probably want to sell as many Forza 7s before they upgrade Forza Horizon 3. But I like 3. I don't know if you guys played Forza Horizon 3, but I can't wait to play that with the X patch.
Yeah. Not a Forza person.
Yeah, it's definitely not. It's an acquired taste and very kind of niche.
Yeah, I played, like I said, I played a demo of Forza 7, and I was like, man, I'm very bad at this game.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not that. That's why I like Horizon a little bit better. A little bit more lenient. You want to talk about anything else before I got 2 more games on here, one being Wolfenstein 2, and then the other one, I guess I can talk to a bit later. But Wolfenstein 2...
have you played more Wolfenstein 2 now, Shin?
Yeah, a little bit more. I didn't get too much farther.
How far are you?
I just saved the Resistance, the black woman.
Chloe? Grace, I think her name is. Is it Grace? I think it's Grace.
I can't remember her name.
So you're pretty early.
Yeah, still, yeah.
Gotcha. That game's good. I really like. I don't know if you guys played The New Order. That was one of my favorite games the year that came out. Surprisingly, that game came out of nowhere. Didn't think they can top it. I think they're topping it in regards to storyline and characters. I never thought that the main character from Wolfenstein would be one of those memorable characters in a video game in a long time. Like right. It's crazy how well fleshed out he is, and the other characters in the game. My only issue with it is the same issue I had with the first one. This game is not. It seems like it's not made to be played with a pad. Like a control pad. It seems like it's meant to be played with a mouse and keyboard, because you have some enemies in there that just move the rate that they move versus the rate you can aim. And again, it could be old, but I don't think so, because other first-person shooters don't have the same problem. But you got to really move quickly with some of these things, and pretty precise.
Have you tried? Now, hear me out on this one.
Here we go.
Putting up the
sensitivity.
Yes, I have. Yes, that just makes everything faster. But everything not work faster.
Can you keep? Is it possible to keep up with their movement?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so that is the solution.
So you're just old, is what
it probably is. But I think I don't remember having,
because
this
that was the same situation with the Killzone 2 boss.
With the Killzone 2.
With
like,
the Killzone 2
wait,
was,
wait,
it would port everywhere. And the only way that you got to get shots in it is if you jacked your sensitivity up and or you stood in a corner, which generally got you killed.
I usually stood in the corner.
I think I stood in the corner for that game. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure.
yeah, I'm pretty
I can't
sure
remember.
that didn't work for me either, but I won eventually. I beat it.
Yeah, but even some of the enemies that don't move fast, I just feel the aiming is just very
Sluggish.
it doesn't feel slow. It just feels not accurate.
Okay.
It's hard to explain. Like if you play something like Destiny or Destiny 2 on console, it feels like it's reactive. Like it's reactive to what you're doing. You can aim pretty well for headshots or whatnot, and it does have auto aim on it for sure. And so does Wolfenstein. I just feel it's more. It's really hard to explain. It almost feels. Maybe I'll try what Scott said and try to. Maybe next time I play it, I'll crank up the
other thing is
the thing a bit. But
are the game's guns precise?
Oh yeah, they are. Oh, it's not that. It's not the shooting that's missing. It's getting the reticule where I want it to go is sometimes a bit tough. So it's not the guns missing. Like I mean, it's running on the same engine that Doom ran on, and I had no problems with Doom.
The only other thing I can think of is that it has a kind of like how a mouse and keyboard would have a system where if you move the joystick faster to try and turn somewhere, your character also moves faster.
Mm. Like a momentum, like
something like that. I wouldn't know what to call it.
Yeah.
But you can try it right now.
Yeah.
And you can very slowly move your mouse to the right to a set point, and then move it there faster. The faster one goes a lot further.
Yeah. So that would be like inertia, I think, is what we're.
Yeah.
That's the word.
It could be more like that.
If that's it, then that's completely fucked.
It might be that.
Because I don't remember the games, but I remember that
like,
there was a few games like that.
Some games like Overwatch like let you adjust like turn inertia, and I'm way into adjusting turn inertia. That's my kink. We finally found it.
It's good. I like it.
If you guys...
Go ahead.
I heard a similar complaint about Prey, so maybe it's just Bethesda.
I didn't play Prey. Yeah, it's good. Story's good. It's pretty. It's a game also too that it's made me laugh. It's made me almost cry. It's made me be like, that's fucked up. Like there are some disturbing ass scenes in it, and there's some scenes that'll make you laugh out loud, and there's some touching scenes that'll just make you be like, oh, or like, oh man, feel for him. And there's like, without spoiling anything, there's one specific scene that made me both made me cringe, laugh, and kind of feel sympathetic to someone who you would never ever think that would ever happen to, till he finally kicks in your head. You're like, oh my god, why would I ever? It's really fucking weird how they play out the scene. I'll just say it's if you're playing Wolfenstein New Colossus, the play scene or the acting scene. Let's put it that way, without ruining anything. It's pretty damn good, really good. But I haven't beat it yet. I'm probably about 80% of the way through. Probably beat it by the end of this weekend.
Yeah,
it's going to be up there on my game of the year this year for sure.
Austin Walker, he had a good argument for it on Waypoint Radio that convinced me to give it an honest shot, because I was not a huge fan of the first one. I liked it, but I didn't love it. I had a lot of issues with it, especially like tonally.
Okay.
So I'm curious to see.
Ooh, if you didn't like it, like what problems did you have with it?
I thought that the tone of Blazkowicz being like a very serious character in cutscene, going to like fucking stabbing Nazis and going like night Nazi while he's like stabbing through a bed. I was like, this is stupid.
Well, there's more of that.
Yeah, Nabishin, you talked about it a little bit a few weeks ago, and you had said there was less of that. So
yeah, there is less of that. I feel like he's like an important character gets axed in a bad way at the beginning of that game, and so he's very remorseful as far as that. So like maybe he goes on past where I'm at, but right now he's just very much mourning.
Oh, he still goes in the raging Nazi thing for sure.
Okay.
But he's also Yeah, they add more depth and layers to them. That's for sure.
So for clarity, Alex, is this a
Yeah.
thing where the scene itself, without
Yeah.
Blastowitz being Blastowitz, this is a stupid scene made worse because Blastowitz is so serious about it?
Well, it's him going from like it's hard for me to believe that he's like because you're exposed to him while you're playing that game, you're exposed to him way more through the gameplay of him being just like absurd, and then like he walks into a cutscene and I'm like supposed to feel sympathetic for him, and I just don't. Because,
you will in the second one for sure.
Yeah, and I'm open to giving it another shot. So,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go in with an open mind.
Don't get me wrong. He does do that same, fuck you, Nazi shit, blah blah, whatever. But they've added layers to him and they peel them back very, very well.
I think there's a way to contextualize that to like get behind that.
Yeah.
So I just don't.
Okay, so the first one, whereas the first one didn't do that, does the second one do it?
We'll find out. I will be the judge, Scott.
Lucky, you're a terrible judge.
I think I'm a pretty good judge.
Nope.
Like I said, I'm going with an open mind, so we'll see.
Hey, that's what I love about you, Alex. You give shit
Give it a shot. Exactly.
I'm super excited to see what I think of that game. And Austin Walker apparently had a very similar experience with the first game that I did, and he like burnt out and couldn't finish it. Like if I had played that game by myself, I wouldn't have been able to finish it as well. So hearing that he could put the second one down has me excited to at least try it. So
yeah, it's good. It's definitely an improvement in my eyes for sure.
What do you feel about Battlefront 2?
I literally only played one match this morning. Well, two. I jumped in the first match. It ended after 30 seconds. We won. Yay! So I got some points.
Good.
It looks so fucking good. It looks ridiculous. It's probably maybe next to Forza, like Forza 7, Gears 4, Tomb Raider, and Battlefront 2. Those are probably the four best. I'd probably put Battlefront 2 probably second from what I've seen so far.
That game is very good looking.
Yeah, but I only played the one mission. I will preheads. I did not buy the game. I had it pre-ordered. I canceled my pre-order last week because I'm like, F this. And then I was like, you know what? I can get a 10-hour trial on EA Access. So I bought the EA Access for $5. So I got the 10-hour trial. I'm going to give it a try for 10 hours and then decide whether or not I want to buy it. Okay. But it's... besides saying it's really good looking and sounds awesome, it's Battlefront. There's outside of new levels and a couple new weapons and new character stuff. It's if you play Battlefront, the first one, as far as I can tell right now, it's more or less more of the same, which is okay if you like that. I guess I don't know.
I like the improvements they made as far as like the classes and things.
Oh, they did do that actually. Yeah, that actually is an improvement. Yeah.
I would say that it is a better Battlefront. It's still like kind of casual and a little bit less serious.
It's not very deep at all. It's you don't have to worry about reloading and stuff, and it's fun. I feel like it's like a casual shooter that anybody can pick up and play, and everyone knows Star Wars. And not to say you're not going to get your ass kicked or handed to you by people who have been playing it nonstop. Not only one, because they probably have way better shit than you do, because that game is now fucking not pay to play or pay to win. It's more like play to win, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah,
you'll win for sure if you played that game.
Oh yeah. Played it for a very long time. But so what you've been playing? Have you put a lot of time into it or no?
I played the beta just to see. Just to see like what it felt like and the changes they made, but I had really no interest in playing through that.
Getting the actual game. Yeah.
Well, that was before all the microtransactions stuff.
Yeah.
I was good.
I like the first. The first was just so bare bones. Like we barely played it. Like me and my usual group of online peeps. Well, Glenn Aces, and we played it for maybe about a week and a half, 2 weeks, and then we were done with it. And we were all sitting on the fence for this one, and I think most of us have got it. So we're gonna give it a shot this weekend. Give it a good college try. See if we stick with it.
Yeah. Is that it?
That's it, man. Those are everything.
Scott, you over Extra Life Week, you got a Switch.
Oh, yep. I did want to tell that story. I'll tell my Switch story after this.
What you been playing on your Switch, Scott?
I've been playing, the two games I got for it, which is Breath of the Wild and Mario
And
Odyssey.
Tetris. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Puyo
If I want to play Tetris, I have a PC. Thank you.
Who fucking
Yeah,
plays Tetris on a
TetrisFriends.com.
PC? Seriously, who plays Tetris
PC
on
is
a
the
PC?
best place to play it.
Oh.
I'm sorry. But
consoles
all those
Tetris
extra,
is so
all those
fuck
extra
you.
P's. Who plays 8-player Tetris?
The best kind of
Eight-player,
Tetris.
eight-player Tetris is actually all right, but the Tetris modern
Shut up,
community on
Alex.
PC.
We used to play this. This used to be a thing of the show.
We used to play Tetris on a Game Boy with a link cable. That was how you got 2-player Tetris. I can't even do an old man voice for that long. It strains me. That's how old I am. That's.
It's getting too real.
But seriously, Tetris on a
been like
PC.
5
Get the
years since
fuck
we've
out! I
done
can't
that.
believe. Fuck this.
Let me tell you what the kids are into. It's crack cocaine and Tetris on PC.
Yeah, seriously. You and your scissors.
Have you? How much Mario have you played, Scott?
I just got past the Snow City
Okay,
after the new Dunk.
okay, that's a good chunk. So you're in the Beach Kingdom.
I'm in the Beach Kingdom.
Hell yeah, dude! Chase your fucking beach bliss, my man.
I'm gonna take my shirt off.
Oh yeah, get that underwear costume. Drop.
Well, I haven't actually touched the costumes one bit.
that. Okay, so you're just like rolling out on fucking.
I gather the
6,000 gold
coins, and I'm like, yeah, the purple coins.
Okay. Do you have any gold coins, like regular coins?
I have like 2,000, almost 3,000 regular coins.
Okay, fair enough.
I haven't bought anything.
Yeah, you should buy the You can buy a moon in each kingdom. You should do that.
I could do that because you can do that a lot.
Yeah. Well, you can do that a lot later. Up front, you can only buy one. So.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. There's really no reason for me to do that.
All right, fucking fine. Jesus. I'm
Maybe
just
you're
trying
like
to.
Scott.
I'm just trying to help you. What do you think about?
Because let's talk about Mario Odyssey for a bit.
Yeah. What do you think about Mario Odyssey?
I think it's great.
Okay.
It has, I want to say, 3 main issues,
Okay.
which
Is
prevent
one
it
of
from
them
being.
that it's too easy? Is one of them that it's too easy?
The problem isn't that it's too easy; is that the pacing is fucked.
How so?
Okay, so in previous games like this, you know how you had that menu that they took out and that everyone thinks looks great?
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's not great because now the levels don't reset, so the levels are stagnant. So the moons are hidden throughout the levels, but the levels haven't gotten any bigger. Really?
Okay.
They instead all the challenges to get each individual moon has been simplified until you hit the main ones, which have traditional Mario difficulty.
I'm curious to see how you feel about that after you finish the game. So that does change.
Right, and that's what I'm saying about it. Every set of moons that you have to get to go on to the next stage isn't set well enough for that stage.
Okay.
Some stages you are scouring a whole lot, and for some stages, I had 4 rows of moons.
Okay.
And I put a similar amount of time into each stage.
Was there a particular stage that stands out to you?
The stage that I spent the most time in would be New Donk City.
Shout out to New Donk City.
So then that's the only one where I actually went ahead and spent a whole ton of time dumping into.
Yeah. I like that stage.
And on that one, I had 5 sets of moons.
Hell yeah. That's 50 moons.
5 rows. And it's because those moons carry over. It's the whole 64 problem, but in 64, you can generally, after you go through a stage, you confronted either you went through almost the entirety of another stage because each star took you to a different part of the stage. And the repeats added a new challenge in some of the main areas.
Yeah.
So
I get that.
for a bunch of these areas, I have only gone through essentially half the stage.
Okay. Are you like excited to go back and see?
Eh.
Okay.
I
get
can only
that.
really see myself going back once going back to each stage once, really.
I feel that. Yeah, I'm
So
curious. Like, just
I'm about halfway through, and as I said, it seems like traditional Mario difficulty. It starts out pretty easy, helps you get used to the controls, and then it starts getting harder,
yeah.
and it starts getting harder.
hmm
That being said, the jump rope thing was easy.
Did you do 100?
I did 120, and I was like, "Oh, I can stop now. There's no benefit to me doing this anymore." Then I walked away.
I could probably do 10 in real life now and just pass the fuck out.
Trevor
Yes.
somewhere is fucking just so angry at you.
Yeah, I can't jump rope either. I'll get about the 5, then it'll hit my leg.
Yeah. I get to about 2
I'm-
and then I die.
I'm opening my Switch tomorrow, I think. I got it like 3 weeks ago. No, a week before the one Xbox Scorpio came out. And I got it for a Christmas gift to myself when a buddy told me, hey, EB's still taking pretty good trade-ins for Wii U, 3DS, and Vita. I was like, what? So I took all my shit in for that shit and traded in, got it for free. I'm like, I'm going to open it on Christmas. Literally the day after, I'm like, I want to open this now. And Tanya's like, just hold out. You're getting a new console like in 4 days, dude. What's wrong with you? So I'm like, okay. So then when the X came, like it has held me off. But I think tomorrow's gonna be my breaking point. They're like, okay, I gotta open this because of Mario.
Wait, is it supposed to be a Christmas gift?
Well, it was because to myself.
But New Donk City's calling you.
I'm a fucking child. It comes down to I'm a really big man baby. So like I want something cool to open up on Christmas because like last year, well I got the Pro, it was before Christmas, but then last year was the PSVR. Got it for me. I put in money for it too, but I didn't I was like, give it to me for Christmas. So I got it on Christmas morning. It was cool, just setting that shit up, having everyone play it. It was kind of like an event, and I kind of wanted that to be the Switch, but I can't hold out. It's not gonna happen.
Mario waiting for you.
Exactly.
Where
It's
are
staring
you
at me in the
at?
face.
Where are you at with Mario Notion?
Just collecting more moons. Enjoying it still, like to death. The in-game stuff, I'm still holding off though. I'm trying to just do the other moons first. Get all the moons that I missed before I actually do like the other harder stuff.
Yeah. Like the post game levels. I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah, I'm doing a similar thing. I like kind of burnt out though. Like I had a great time with Mario and I liked playing through the main game, but like I think the luster of it wore off with me after a while. And like a big part of that is like Mario has never been my thing as much as Zelda has.
All right, but this is my turn to talk about Mario, so fuck you.
Okay. I was just updating people where Mario
Nope.
was. All right.
You had your chance.
I mean, I did.
I'm kidding.
It's I love Mario Odyssey, but like I'm okay making it last out. I'm not gonna sit here and just binge Mario Odyssey until I get 999 moons. I want to hopefully get all of them, but I don't know if I will at this point.
All right.
Yeah.
So on to problem number 2.
Yeah.
E controls.
Is it the motion controls?
I don't have so much a problem with the motion controls as I do with the general jump movement.
You don't like the jumps?
It is a little clunky for a 3D Mario game.
Really?
Yes.
I think it feels great.
The extra roly-poly move is fantastic.
Yeah, really please.
However, there are some scenarios that fuck with how you're like if you're I'll put it this way, if you were standing around just testing out the movements on flat ground, you would have no problems whatsoever. However, there are a few scenarios that make the hat jump near impossible for no reason.
But do you mean like throwing the hat and then diving at the hat? And,
Yep.
yeah.
There's a few scenarios that make that impossible for no reason. The most blatant one is if you're bouncing on anything, you can forget about trying to do that move. I tested the timing. I've tested the timing with it with the fucking stopwatch, and when it is successful doesn't make any sense.
I mean, like, have you ever considered, Scott, that maybe this is just you doing this because you're a crazy person? I'm just presenting this as a possibility.
I'm just saying it doesn't work.
All right.
I'm just saying
like,
it doesn't.
I believe
work.
you. I don't doubt you.
When you would actually need to do it, I don't know. But I did notice that I tried to do it, like in New Donk City on one of those things, and it didn't work.
You
know how you have
when you do it.
You know how you have the what are the tarp overheads next to the buildings? You can bounce on them and you go real high.
Like an awning.
I don't know what they're called.
I think awning.
I'm gonna have to take your word for it.
Okay.
But yeah, I tried it on those, didn't work. I tried it on the snow things over there. It wasn't happening.
Okay. Yeah, maybe that's like
so it's
tied to
small
how the
stuff
jump
like
works.
that.
Mhm.
The side-to-side movement after you take your first jump is much closer to ghosts and goblins. Where you can't fucking move.
Deep cut over here.
Hey, that's the most popular one.
I guess. I'm just saying it was a pull, okay?
So it's very small stuff like that make the movement not perfect.
Okay. What's your third issue?
Which is really in the third one.
It's not on PC.
True.
No, it is charging off of my PC, which makes it count as on PC.
All right.
Because I can play it right in front of my PC setup, have it
Bunch
connected.
of fucking nerds.
All right.
Yes.
It counts.
Your third
Anyway,
issue.
the third is your attacking options. The problem I have with this isn't that it's motion
Fucking
controls.
Mario. You jump on someone's head, or you spin, or you throw an eggshell at
Scott
him.
misses this punch situation from Mario 64.
I'm missing my other attack options. All right.
Listen, man.
It made Galaxy bad. That is my opinion on
Wait,
Galaxy.
what?
You
Not
using
being
the
able to
Lumi
punch
shit,
somebody?
the star shit
Mm-hmm.
in fucking Galaxy made that game bad in my opinion.
Like the whole game bad, or just like
The
you
whole
didn't like
game.
that part of that game? The whole.
The
All right,
whole
well, I
game.
mean, that's just crazy.
There was so much fighting you had to do, and it all felt like shit.
But like Scott, you can throw your hat at a Goomba, and instead
Yeah,
of
okay,
hitting
you
the
see,
Goomba,
we're still talking about
you-
Galaxy. We're not
you
talking about
become
this.
the Goomba, Scott. You are the Goomba.
And this is a part of the attack patterns, man.
I'm just saying.
For everything you take control of, most of your movements are extremely shallow.
I'm just saying you can be a Goomba.
So yeah,
you-
being a Goomba and Goomba stacking is fun and satisfying.
Yes, agreed.
I don't believe that you have to attack as a Goomba.
No, because
That would be
Goombas are
weird.
pacifists. And they don't have arms. You can listen, Scott. You can become a hammer bro that throws frying pans, and then you can throw frying pans.
Game of the year.
Spoilers, Jeff. Sorry.
No worries. It's fine.
I'm just saying that's an attack right there, and it's life changing.
But it's to this point, that is a very specific attack that you can use when you have hammer bros around.
Yeah. Well, what are you trying to hit when you don't have hammer bros?
How the fuck does that help me with the snake things?
Which snake things?
The snake things, the spikes on that you can't jump on.
Oh, okay. I don't know, have you ever?
How does that help me when my hat's over in one direction and I want to punch an icicle?
Well, I mean, have you ever considered getting good?
I have tried and I butt stomped on it and it didn't work.
I found out like 13 hours in that game that you can ground pound the like little wooden pegs to make them go in instead of just like using your hat to rip them out. And it
You see, I threw my hat at one and I ground pounded the other, and I was like, fantastic. Like in the tutorial.
There's some attacking options for you, Scott. It sounds like in the grand scheme of things, at least these problems aren't ruining this whole game for you.
No, this isn't like Mario Galaxy. These are fairly minor. These are fairly minor issues, which if one of them would be solved, this would essentially count as a masterpiece game.
Oh wow, okay. One of these issues alone.
If one of these issues were solved,
if it had
none of the rest would matter.
If it had 2 of these issues instead of 3, it would be a 10 out of 10 game. But because it has 3 of those issues instead of 2, it's a 9 out of 10.
Yes.
Okay.
It's because it has 3 instead of 2. It's a 0 out of 10.
It's a 0 out of 10. Would not play again. Garbage. Okay. I mean, like, no, that's fair.
It's not that they don't have. It's not that there aren't any attack options. There's enough. It would be nice if that, in taking away the punching and having your hat throw, that when you took over something, generally they had more than one button.
Okay.
Most of the time.
Okay, I get that. There's some cool stuff later on too. Like they play around with the abilities you get when you're possessing stuff, when you're capturing things. Excuse me. What was your favorite?
And then this is the one strange time where I wish movement was a little bit looser.
Okay. So you can get around that new donk a little bit easier. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Get a little.
And for how the story goes, the pacing is off.
I'm sorry that Bowser fucking planning his wedding's pacing is off for you, Scott. I can't.
And like as far as problems go, that's about it.
Okay. For you, Scott, that's actually a pretty short list of problems.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're having fun with it. What's your favorite level so far? New Donk City's pretty lit.
So far, that's the only open level.
I like New Donk City because there's no dudes. You just kind of hang out and jump.
What do you mean, like no dudes?
There's like no enemies, right? It's more like just kind of a player.
Oh. Yeah, that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
That's what I thought when you said dudes.
Yeah, it's all women. No dudes allowed. I want to find the guy. Like, there's a dude without a hat in New Donk City though that you can possess. I want to be him. I haven't found him yet.
You mean other than the guy with the race car?
I think so. I found the race car guy, but
yeah.
I don't know, like, I just want to walk around as a person in New Donk City. I just want to live my life as a human being, and feel what weird disaster that is. You've been playing Zelda as well, Scott. You played that during
Game of the Year.
Game of the Year. You got the DLC and jumped right into
I got the DLC, which if I wasn't about to get the DLC, I wouldn't have bought the game.
Okay.
Because I already beat it.
Yeah.
Basically.
You jumped into Master Mode.
Jumped into Master Mode. And Master Mode's real weird.
Yeah. You were showing me
do
some shit.
you remember the scaling problem that I said that was an issue in regular mode?
Yeah.
Well, it looks like that's going to be the entire game in Master Mode.
Yeah.
Which is alright. Because you found a way around it in the first game until you had a bunch of weapons and could two-shot everything.
Yeah.
But in this game, it looks like environmental kills and other options are going to be your only options for most combat.
I kind of like that, though. I like them forcing you to engage with the weirder shit in that game.
Right. As for example, when I had to go get the Kurok seeds, I already had a gray Bokoblin.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know,
that's the
after around 30 seconds have passed in combat, whether you continuously hit them or not, they start regenning health. after 5 seconds of you. Oh, no, sorry, 2 seconds of you not hitting them.
Yeah.
So continuously throwing bombs at them doesn't do enough damage to kill them, even when you're bomb flipping.
Yeah. So you have to be smart.
So
You have to throw them off.
I
the
had to
cliff.
bomb them off the cliff,
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
and that didn't kill all of them.
Okay.
So I had to bomb them off of a different cliff
I like
that
this.
was below the cliff that I was already on.
I like this cliff-based murder.
I can't really kill any of the constructs. Not
guardians.
the big ones. I'm talking about the ones in the temples.
Yeah.
The one that I was able to kill was because I was able to smash it with a metal block.
Yeah. Okay.
I put the block between me and it, and then I kept ramming it with it.
Hell yeah.
It regened health, and it took forever to kill, but I wouldn't do enough damage anyway with any of the weapons I had.
I'm glad you're using your ingenuity though.
Yeah, eventually I'm going to have to put balloons on things to make them float,
Fuck
so then they fall to their death.
Fuck yes.
We'll get there when we get there, though.
Yeah.
And for now, Lionels are impossible. I don't think I'm going to be able to fight any of them until I get the Master Sword and another.
Yeah, it takes a while.
And double plus weapons.
Yeah, the health regen especially. I imagine.
And then I'm going to have to break them all on one.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be worth fighting them ever.
Yeah.
Because you don't get.
Not gonna lie, when I played one, I fought one in my thing and beat it, and then never again. That was it.
It's not worth it, and that's the big problem with Master Mode is that yes,
I wasn't
it
even
makes
that mode. I was in regular mode. It was like in first playthrough.
In regular mode, it's worth it because you'll break a weapon, right? You'll get halfway through another one, and although they aren't the weapons you get out of it, probably aren't as good. You probably broke 2 melee weapons, and the bow you get is very good.
Yeah.
And so is the shield and the sword.
Yeah.
It's not as good as the double plus guardian weapons, but it's up there.
It's good, yeah.
And you get multiple.
Yeah, the health regen is a whole other layer to Master Mode. I want to try it at some point.
It means that even though you can be good at the fighting, that doesn't mean that you can kill something when you do not have the gear for it.
Yeah. Which is what I'm sure they intended with Master Mode. So, let's actually take a quick break.
Right.
So I can use the bathroom and Jeff's computer doesn't blow up.
Fair.
Man, I'm gonna have to complete the whole game on Master Mode.
I want to know. I want to know your Master Mode full take. That'll be your.
I gotta have to go
Christmas
collect all the
present.
memories on Master Mode.
Hell yeah.
I actually have to go through and do Ganon's castle properly on Master Mode, as well as all the Divine Beasts instead of skipping everything. God damn it.
Yeah, I want to know. I want to know what you think of that stuff. When we come back, there's still some video games to talk about, and plenty of news and Xbox stuff and other things. So, we will be back in just a little bit.
Alrighty.
If you want to stop recording, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop recording.
And then you can save that, and then I'm gonna go pee, and when I get back, we can count you back in.
Sweet.
Yep, I'll be right back.
I don't remember how to do this shit. How do I do this? Noise thing first, noise removal. Get nose profile. Do you know how to do this shit, Navashin?
I know how to do everything. Which
Alright.
which
Well, I'm
stage
doing-
are you at?
I'm at noise removal right now. Oh my god, it says it's gonna take 6 fucking minutes? Huh.
What I would recommend you do
Yeah.
is I would recommend that you save the Audacity file as an Audacity file.
Can I do that? Okay.
And
Save
yeah, do
project.
that. It'll take up a lot of space. So after you're done and it's sent, I would highly recommend you delete that file immediately afterward.
Gotcha. So you're saving an Audacity file. That's to open a file.
But for
that's
right
fine.
now, I would just save it as the Audacity file so you can open it later.
Okay, that sounds like a good idea. Put it on my desktop. What episode are you guys on? 400? No, 300 and
50 something. I don't know.
50. I'll literally type out 50 something.
That works.
That works. I've done it before. The podcast came out. We didn't have to cancel because they had a bad file name.
Okay, so that'll
I also
save.
put episode 420.
Ha! Nice.
Yeah, there was a joke. Alex appreciated it.
Yeah. All right, so that's gonna save. Okay, and I will be right back. My chair squeaks too much.
It's hot. Scott, we're partners now.
Did it blow up, Jeff?
He went to be right back.
Nice. Oh, let me just send you guys a dick pic real quick.
Dick prick.
Dick prick. This is video you sent me, Tony. It's a very exciting video that you sent.
Isn't it great?
I mean, it's your PS4 controller's working. That's
Yeah.
good, right?
Well, it was working. It just wasn't connected to the right device for the thing that I wanted to do, which was escape from Jason over and over again, you know? But
Yeah. Butt stuff.
did he win?
Did who win, Tony?
Oh yeah, I survived. Excellent.
Mister, I'm just doing it during the bonus content over here. You're a bad podcast host. You're a bad co-host. You know that. You don't even care.
Look, man. If I wanted to talk about New Donk City, I would have.
I'm just saying, why don't you just take my feelings and shit on them?
All right. Can do.
Shit all over them. Jeff, come back. Baby, come back. You can blame it all on me.
I'm back.
Hey, welcome back. Not machine. We playing PUBG on Xbox?
More than likely.
Player Unknown's bugga.
We're doing it. We're doing it together. We're doing a PUBG stream. You and me. We're going chicken dinner.
Yeah, I promised NATO that I would play it. So.
What did you say? I can barely hear you.
I said, I promised NATO that I would. So.
Wow.
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 Wow. Slight.
Slight.
Wait, what?
I'm hurt.
No,
I'm betrayed.
I mean, as far as getting the game on Xbox One, not that.
Okay.
playing.
I was saying that you were going to betray me for NATO.
No, I didn't mean like that. No.
Okay. Okay. Good. We can all play together. We could do quads. We need a fourth, but we can figure that out.
Sure.
But yeah, I'm actually excited to play that game. Especially now that they're like doubling down on it, hitting 1.0 before the end of December.
For sure.
Boy, are people upset that that game got nominated for Game of the Year.
Well, it shouldn't have been.
No one is happy with those nominations, though. I don't understand. I saw somebody talking shit about Persona 5, and I was just very upset.
I mean, they're just wrong. So.
Yeah, I know. It was somebody I like too. I was like,
Yeah,
I like
you. Don't like them anymore.
I don't like them anymore. No.
Yeah, it's over.
It's fine though.
No, it's fine. I don't care.
And that's just the point you have to get to. Is just like not caring, because like it seems like hot takes are like the thing to do now. Whereas like something you're like, even if you're not even intentionally trying to like get under somebody's skin, like you kind of are. So it's like it's the thing like people like to do nowadays.
It's just like being dismissive. You just sound like an asshole. Like that's the shitty part about hot takes.
Yeah, and you know like sure, PUBG being in the Game of the Year discussion is weird, but like there's a good discussion around that. Like it's pretty much a complete game. So like it's just just them not saying it. So it's like it's worth talking about. You know,
Yeah.
It's worth a conversation.
You're like, if you want to bring up the point, it's like, hey, this was a technical mess. Like, yeah, like okay, that's a legitimate reason for it not to win, but I'm okay with it being part of the conversation. Like,
Yeah,
let's have that talk.
Yeah.
So, I just take some of these news stories out.
But we need to cover all of the news.
At this point, I don't know if we're going to cover any of the news.
All of the news.
All right.
Are you ready, Jeff?
I am. I probably got another 40 minutes in me or so.
Okay.
No problem.
We can make that happen.
Count
Jeff,
me down again.
Yeah, I'm gonna count you in on 1. You hit record. Are you ready?
On Juan?
On 1.
Okay.
Ready?
So chimichango, taco,
Yeah.
Juan. Okay.
Yep.
You got it. You got it. Natural. Professional podcaster.
Hell yeah.
Why'd you ever stop?
Welcome back.
What'd you ever say?
That's a loaded question.
All right. 5, 4, 3,
1.
2, Juan.
Juan. How many Mexicans does it take to screw in a light bulb?
If they're my
3,
own
they
college
don't have a
roommate,
ladder.
many.
You know, just one.
All right.
That was right there on the table, guys. Come on.
How the fuck does he do it without a ladder?
I'm just. Yeah. How does he get the reach?
What are you saying? He's short? Racist.
That's pretty
Dude,
insulting.
I've got recessed lighting, dude. I'm like living in an upscale joint.
Where's
over here.
Pigpen when you need him?
All right. And we're back. Welcome
You're
back,
welcome
Jeff.
back.
All right. that could have worked out better, honestly. Tony,
Hi.
video games.
Nier Automata.
You played a little bit of
What?
Nier, from what I
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah, I played like the first hour and a half, I guess.
Okay.
Man.
I'm already in New Game Plus.
Yeah.
Because I did the opening mission and then I calibrated myself on the space station and unlocked the ability to self-destruct and then immediately blew myself up.
Oh, of course.
Which blew the space station up. Credits rolled and then I went into New Game Plus.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Yeah, so I already beat the game. It was really short. I don't really know how they justify that for a $60 release, but hey, I'm not going to complain too much. I thought it was all right.
Hey, you
I
saw
enjoyed my
credits.
time with it. Yeah.
Oh, that's done.
And like
All right.
they even expedited the credits. Like they scrolled by really fast. I appreciated that touch. Because
Yep. Did you watch the end credit cutscene?
I don't think there was one.
It's
for
about
this in
it's about
specific.
30 hours long.
Oh yeah, I'll have to keep playing. I think
It's the whole game.
to make sure I get the whole experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did that. I thought that was funny. I'm at the refugee camp for the first time. That's where I got to, and I just until just before this podcast, couldn't do anything else because I had to sync my PS4 controller to my PC to play Destiny, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a minute. and hadn't been able to get it synced back to the way it should have been. Since,
That's right. I played Destiny.
Sorry, you can talk about it when Tony talks about it.
But other than that, yeah, I
I'm
really
happy to talk about Destiny.
it took me about maybe once I got on Earth, maybe 15 seconds to figure out how to blow off 2B's skirt. So, because and it wasn't like an accident too, because I was like, I'm just gonna blow
very intentional.
I'm gonna blow myself up again. Oh, I'm gonna keep blowing myself up every time. You know. Yeah. I played like the entire first part of the game in black and white because I blew myself up and didn't realize that, oh hey, when you blow yourself up you probably should heal. And I was just like, wow, why is everything tastefully in black and white? Oh, it's because I have no health at all. So that was cool. I ended up redoing the first mission. Well, getting to the refugee camp once I went back to the station and got more health stuff and et cetera, et cetera. And it's way nicer when it's not in straight black and white the whole time. But yeah, so far it's good. I just want to spend more time with it before I can really formulate an opinion on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all right. That's. Other than that, I played a bit more Friday the 13th with Alex.
Yeah.
How did that game change your life, dude? Because, like, you seem to be like, oh, I don't know what this game is. And then, no, you didn't. Sorry, not like that. But, you weren't in it at all. And then it's like, you're just, like, immediately in it as far as, like...
Well, it's funny because, like, the kind of games that Scott and I play all the time are pretty similar to Friday the 13th, where, like, there's a person who's got, like, a more... vital role, and then everyone else works together to kind of like overcome that.
Evolve.
No, Evolve is just a bad game, and we don't talk about bad games.
Evolve's not good.
See,
bunch of fucking haters on this podcast.
Anyway, so that's how I got with all that. But it's been okay. Like I haven't played a lot of it because again it's on PS4. I didn't have access to my PS4 all week. But
we played some together, Tony.
Yeah, we played some during the brief moment where it was synced correctly, and that was pretty good. I do enjoy that game. I think I will eventually run out of things to be interested in with that game, and that's okay. But it hasn't happened yet, and so it's all right.
I like that game as well.
Yeah, I think I'm already kind of over the quick play thing. It's not interesting to me, but I'm definitely down to keep playing with people. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the more fun way to play Friday the 13th. Like when you have 8 people who are going to play, or at least like 3 or 4 people, and you play together in quick play or whatever. Even though that's not really the ideal way to do it, that kind of situation I think is more fun. Because there's voice comms, etc., etc. You get to do more with each other. You can mess with whoever of your friends is Jason and just kind of hang out in like the big house and dance near the radio until Jason finds you. Then you just kind of have a good time. But otherwise, I have never played as Jason yet, so that's cool. I'll have to do that eventually. I guess once I get bored of like the counselor gameplay, I'll venture into that. I just haven't been randomly selected as Jason. But then again, I'm still only like level 9, so I haven't really played the game that much. But it's good. I definitely have been enjoying it. And I think the way that we played it at first was a really good way to introduce myself to the game.
Yeah.
So that's Friday the 13th.
Yeah. Shout out to Greg for giving all the pro strats too. On both ends.
Honestly, for me, shout out to Justin Graffius for teaching me the ropes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Justin is like a
he had a job to do. He did it well.
Yeah, he taught me how to be good at it.
Yeah, he did. It was incredible.
Fuck Savini Jason, dude.
Yeah.
That guy is, I don't know, big fire Jason with a pitchfork,
Yeah, man. It's more of like a trident too. It's like gone full Aquaman.
Yeah, that's true, but with a fire sword thing.
Yeah,
it's kind of scary, dude.
Spooky.
I think I don't know. Like, it was weird because I played it at Extra Life a bit, and then I came back and I played like a game by myself on. It must have been like Monday morning, or just like late Sunday evening after I had sat down and had a nap and everything, and I was like, all right, what am I going to do so I don't completely destroy my sleep schedule? I'm going to hang out for like an hour, then go back to bed. And I played a game of Friday the 13th, and like I gotta say, like playing alone in a dark room with all the sound like way louder than it was before, the game can get some spooks in you, dude.
Hell yeah.
Even like having not been like your only experience with the game, and having it's when I play with people, it's not spooky at all. If I play without sound, not spooky at all. But if you play like by yourself in a lobby, and you got the sound up way high and everything, game's a little spooky, which is awesome. I think it's cool that it can do that even after I kind of like know the mechanics. It's a really, really good sound design.
Yeah, there's like a kind of tension there that is not necessarily like fear, but just fun.
Yeah, like, and your character gets that fear for you,
Mm-hmm.
and that shows in the mechanics. And it's kind of neat that is like the one hidden mechanic is like how scared your character is. The only real way to tell if you're not, unless you're like super scared, is if you look at your character's face. It's the only way to kind of gauge where you're at. And then there are a bunch of ways to increase or reduce that. So like while you don't need to use your flashlight at all, you can, and that's a good key way to make your fear go down by turning that on. But it makes you easier to find for Jason.
Yeah.
So that was cool. We got to play a little bit together, and then I had been in talks with Greg Miller since Extra Life because he wanted to finish getting the rest of our loot that we got from doing the raid during Extra Life. And he also wanted to take a shot at Prestige Nightfall, and he wanted me to carry him to at least one win in Trials so he can finish his platinum, basically. So we decided on a day and I sent a text or a DM out to the group of people who we did the raid with originally and did the whole stream of that, and got another 4 people together to help out. We ended up, and that was what we got the whole group together for Friday the 13th. We ended up getting Greg in there and doing the Nightfall, taking a whack at the Prestige Nightfall, and then giving Callus a couple more shots because, well, why not? It's it was a really good.
Did you get Callus this time?
No, we were close.
No,
God
God,
damn
we
it.
were so close. Oh my God, I was so fucking pissed. But
Yeah.
This is just sad for people who've done it before.
It's
I mean, I've
it's
done
all
it
just saying.
before.
It's all right. We got pretty close because I had to teach a new person again for
Yeah,
this
Jacob
one.
had never
Jacob
done
had never done it, so it's always that's kind of, it's not like Jacob's fault or anything. I think he did well, but just not know you gain after you've beaten a boss a certain confidence in how to beat the boss, and then you're able to focus on more things than just let me make sure that I'm not gonna fuck over the whole group this time. And once you're able to kind of put that into your mind, then it's much easier to focus on getting your damage out, and that really was what we ended up having an issue with. Greg happened to have an Orpheus rig, so I got him all set up beforehand to be able to just generate tons of orbs during the damage phases, and he ended up enabling my hunter to do like 2-3 million damage on the longer runs, which was rad. We just needed to have like one more person doing that much damage, and we would have been able to get him easy. We got him super close, but a couple times that fight's a little funky.
Alex, why don't you have damage?
I was actually doing the second most damage, so like I just want to put that out there. I should
He
have.
was fine.
I should have switched to fucking Nighthawk, man. God damn it.
Yeah, I don't have one of those on either PS4 or PC. That's like, it's the best hunter exotic for PvE, and the only one that I don't really have on either one. I have everything else. I like on PC. I have Orpheus rig, so I do Greg's job basically, and it's a great time, man.
Yeah, we still had fun. It was a lot of fun doing like the Nightfall and everything. So.
Did you at least have Did you have a Titan?
Yeah, we had.
Did he use Rallying Barrier?
Yeah, Trevor was, and he used it very effectively.
And you guys actually used it?
Yeah.
How? I don't understand. I saw your light levels.
It's all right.
We got hella skulls, I'll say.
Yeah, we had like 90 a couple times, which was rad.
Yeah.
And that was my first time ever going to do the outside for Callus. Like, I knew how to do it, but I had never just been the person to do it, just because the inside is a more finicky job, so I kind of like to eliminate variables by putting myself in one of those 3 more, raid wipey spots. And we were even able to kind of like pull it off where, like, if we ran out of like revives on the outside or whatever like that, then we could switch Greg and I to always have a revive on the outside. Given another like try or 2, we definitely would have got him, in my opinion. But we got close.
It was late, yeah.
We didn't have a lot of time. We didn't really get in that many attempts.
Yeah.
3?
Somewhere in 3 to 5, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they were pretty good lengthy attempts.
Yeah, like I said, we got very close one time in 2 phases. So, yeah, that was fun. Scott, you played the raid.
I played the raid
on PC now. Well, like, it might be worth working in here the little Destiny announcement. They kind of revealed what the first DLC is going to be adding as far as raid content is concerned.
Yeah, quite a bit of all that.
So trial, or what's it called? Curse of Osiris is coming out December 5th. And some point after that is going to be a raid. What do they call it? A raid layer, which is a new set of challenges on the Leviathan raid, like on the Leviathan ship. And
does light level cap go up?
Yeah. So the recommended power for that is starting at 300. So presumably the loot at that will be higher than that. So I'm going to assume that light will be higher depending on the gear you get at the end of that. But it is a 6-person like event, so it is much like the raid. You select it from the raid menu. It takes place on the Leviathan ship. We don't really know what it is. It is just a new series of challenges. So if it is, for example, 4 new challenges, it has a new final boss at the end of it. We know that much. It is 4 new challenges on the Leviathan ship. That could be essentially a new raid, but with the same aesthetic. That could be really cool. If it is like a mix of new challenges and the old challenges from the Leviathan raid with a new final boss, that could be cool. Not really sure, but it could be completed weekly alongside the original Leviathan raid, so it's hard to know. I'm excited though. Like, I didn't actually expect anything like that from the first expansion. This is in addition to like the new story missions and whatnot. So that sounds cool. I'm excited to see what that is. Even though Tony's like, I'm done with PS4. I'm done with all of you plebs.
The thing is, like, I would then have to buy the DLC on 2 consoles, and like I've already played so much
That's fine.
Destiny
I get
2.
it. I get it, Tony. I get it.
Maybe, like, okay, here's the thing. Since this one doesn't really have a new raid, I'll probably get the next one, the one that comes with an actual raid and everything.
Well, I mean, yeah. The other thing is, you could have the PC, man.
Here's the thing I'm gonna say to Tony. It looks like this new menu for the Leviathan raid opens up 2 new options, and this raid layer fills in one of those. So I bet that the second expansion fills in the other. So I don't think there will be a new official raid until the next major expansion.
Right, that's what I'm expecting.
Yeah. So, Geoff, are you a seasoned raider?
I have not even done a raid in Destiny.
Do you want to?
I attempted Vault of Glass on the first one, but I was literally just at the level, and I played with people that were higher, and I felt really bad because me and my buddy were definitely holding them back. And yeah, I was like, nope. And then we were going to try for the raid for 2, but then we thought we had a good group, and then about 3 people dropped off, and we couldn't get the group together to try the raid. So
hey man, I'm gonna get Destiny 2 on Xbox One. I'm gonna come
Okay, so you're fucking up real bad now.
I'm gonna fucking I'm gonna carry you through the raid, you and me.
Sweet, let's
Just
do it.
the
Just
two
the 2
of
of
you.
us.
The 2 of
We'll
us.
have just the 2 of us playing in the background the entire time on loop. It's going to take us 24 hours.
Dude, we got this.
Glenn will do it too. We could probably pull in aces.
Yeah, we got
Aces
this.
maybe down. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I refuse.
That'll
Scott.
be a fucking 12-hour raid, I'll tell you
I
that.
fucking.
No, yeah, probably.
I don't like that.
On a
attitude.
good day.
What are your feelings on Destiny, Jeff?
Two?
Two, yes.
I
I remember you bounced off Destiny 1.
bounced off Destiny 1. That was one of the reasons why I couldn't stand podcasting anymore. But I like 2 better than 1. I'll keep it at that.
Sure.
I still think it has issues, but I enjoyed 2 more than 1.
I'll take that. I'll settle for that.
Yeah.
We're gonna raid Jeff. I'm gonna make it happen.
Let's do it. Yeah, go for it. Wait, get it when the patch drops. I think it's supposed to be dropping in December 1st, I think.
I'm gonna probably get Destiny 2 for Xbox One on Black Friday. 'Cause it's gonna be like 27.
Nice.
Bucks, apparently,
Yeah,
so.
I think they're dropping the X patch on December 1st. I think.
60 frames,
Yeah.
right? Right?
That's the fuck. You know what? If it turns true that that's to do with the marketing deal, I'll be so pissed.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's dirty if that's the case. But hey, whatever. We'll
They
see.
it is in the deal that they can't, because it doesn't really count as the next gen console. The
Yeah.
promise to consumers is that the games aren't actually better.
Yeah.
So-
we
See,
believe-
that's gross. That's disgusting. That's almost worse than any like DLC deal ever or anything like that. I mean, if you can do it on another console, do it. If some kind of exclusivity deal for marketing is stopping them from doing that, that is just whatever.
It's dumb, yeah.
But hey, it'll still look prettier. It'll just won't be in 60 frames, I guess.
It'll look hella pretty. Anything else you've been playing, Tony?
Some Black Desert Online, you know.
Cool. Nothing important.
Yeah, we were about to play the Black Desert expansion.
I'm so sorry I stopped you from doing that.
No, it's fine. We just forgot that there was a podcast.
Yeah.
It's every fucking Friday, guys. Like,
Yeah,
I
I know.
can't. You
What
don't
what
know,
if
though. Here we
what
go.
if we forgot today was Friday?
All right, that's fair. Actually,
You see?
I get that.
You see?
The days of the week blend together.
Yeah.
I feel you.
And like, I know that you like send us a text message, but I was really busy having my phone on Do Not Disturb because the Twitter conversation is fucking
You
ridiculous.
can mute
You did
DMs
mute-
on
I muted them
Twitter.
forever, like weeks ago.
It's like every 7 seconds, my phone's like
You can
that-
just
that
mute one
double
thing.
vibrate shit, and I'm just not into it.
You know, we'll make a new DM thread without you, Tony, and you just won't be invited to
You
actual
could also
next
leave
year.
the conversation.
Not that I. Well, that's the thing. Like, I don't mind being part of the conversation. That's what
Then
Twitter's
mute
about,
your
right?
phone then.
But
Just
like,
put it in Do Not Disturb. Put the thread in Do Not Disturb.
like what?
You can
All right,
also-
listen, Twitter devs. I know you're listening to this podcast. Here's what you need to do. You need to make it so that if a DM thread is getting more than 12 texts, like more than 12 DMs every 30 minutes, that you switch the notifications over from like one notification every single DM, especially if I haven't looked at it in the past like hour, to like make it so instead it's like, hey, here's the last 30 minutes summarized in one notification. You know?
I feel you, dude. I'm giving you shit, but yeah, I do feel you.
Bunch of weebs. I played some video games.
Sure.
Oh no, it's fine. I was done and everything. It's fine.
Yeah, I know. Once you say Black Desert Online, I assume it's over, and I slowly dig the knife deeper into my leg.
You have an Xbox One. You're gonna end up joining us.
Yeah, exactly. There it is. It's all over for me now. The only thing that we haven't really talked about, I played a little more Cuphead. I got to the third island option.
Okay.
It's getting rough. It's getting rough out here. I beat the pirate guy in my first try though.
I played one level of Cuphead at a buddy's about a month ago, whenever the hell that game came out.
Mhm.
I had a few drinks in me.
Yeah.
Fuck that game. I
Hell
couldn't
yeah.
beat one level.
Okay.
I was like, well, this sucks. Let's play some Jackbox.
Yeah. Then you got some real drinks in you.
Hell yeah.
Assassin's Creed Origins. I'm fucking because we've been going so long, and I have so much to say about Assassin's Creed Origins.
Is it Assassin's Creed?
Yes and no.
All right. It's good enough.
It's very, very, very good, and I'm like really surprised by how much I like it. It's like they really went back to the drawing board on Assassin's Creed. They took a lot of Assassin's Creed out of Assassin's Creed, like there aren't really towers in this game. You can still like climb up high places and synchronize, but it doesn't add a bunch of garbage to your minimap. It's very much gutted and reimagined. I think like the best way to put it, because I could list off a bunch of things it definitely takes from the last like 5 years of open world games, but I think the best way to say it is an RPG game first, or an RPG first, and a Assassin's Creed game second. And that works really well for what it's going for. You know, it's got like fucking loot and equipment.
How is that compared to every other game in the series?
Well, like it gets away from the things that I think were boggling down, like the overwhelming systems that were boggling down Assassin's Creed. Like, there's no order of assassins, right? This is before the assassins were even established, so there's no calling in assassins. There's no buying real estate. There's no, like, the game plays differently. Like, when you climb stuff, the only thing that's kind of similar to how Assassin's Creed used to play is climbing, and even that is really different. It's a lot more forgiving. It's a lot more lenient. You can just kind of run towards something and hit A. It's not like Zelda levels of ease, but nothing really is. But it's definitely way better than it has ever been before.
Okay, so you're going completely backwards on this.
Okay.
It's the problem with Assassin's Creed things. It's that you go forward and you hit A, and then your character starts flipping out over shit that you do not want it flipping out over.
That doesn't happen anymore. It feels very controlled, but like lenient, right? It like I'm never like running to a wall and I'm like fucking where's a thing I can climb, and like looking at a wall for 20 minutes like figuring something out. I usually just go and like, oh, there's a handhold here that feels really natural, and it helps that like, you know, the buildings aren't like crazy tall. Like, it's not as vertical as like say Rome was, and that's like a big thing. Like I'm really surprised that like Egypt as a setting is so different than I thought it was going to be. It's like very different than one, any other Assassin's Creed game, but two, any game like I've just ever played. It's like, it's very, they're city-like areas. There's like this really great mixture of like Egyptian and African architecture, and also like Greek architecture, because it's like 53 BC. It's not like ancient Egypt. It's not like when the pyramids are being built. Like, they've been built for a long time. So it is like this really cool, it's like just before the Roman invasion, so it's this very cool mesh of Greek culture and traditional African design, and like clay houses. It's so, like, I was really taken aback at that, plus like savannas and jungles and a lot more greenery than I thought it would be. But yeah, it feels like they really went back to the drawing board on everything that made Assassin's Creed like rough. And it's been a while since I played Assassin's Creed. Like 4 was the last one I played, but like just being able to go into stealth and crouch and sneak around and approach things is fun. And having the gear, having the equipment, having the loot makes sense because it feels like an RPG. You know, you're getting experience, you're doing quests, and you're like, all the side quests are really varied. Like, they actually remind me a lot of The Witcher 3. Like, I never feel like I'm doing anything more than once, and they're interesting, and the side characters are interesting, and like their motivations and how they're contextualized in the world remind me a lot of how The Witcher 3 did it. It's very, very impressive. Like,
that was my problem with the other Assassin's Creed games. The side missions were extremely tedious and boring and not varied at all.
Yeah, and like, they don't feel like GTA 5 style side missions. They feel like actual quests in this game, and I think that helps. Mm-hmm. Like, there was one where I was talking to some like historian, and like I got hit over the head and like mugged, and you go and track down the muggers, and it ends up it's a bunch of kids that are being like threatened by a bandit camp that stole their protector. And then you go and find out the bandit camp, and you find out the protector is like this dog that was like guarding them because it was like watching them while they slept and things like that. And it turned out into this like really interesting like little story about these kids, and Bayek, like the main character, he's very good. And he always has like a soft spot for kids because of his backstory. So just like seeing his interactions with those characters and everything. This was just like one off fucking side quest that I stumbled upon. And there's a lot of stuff like that in this game, which is it's really cool. It's a very surprising, and it's just like very fun to play. Also, I don't want to spend too much time on it just because we're running so long, but I'm like shocked at how much I'm enjoying it. There is a modern day element to it that seems not very intrusive, but is linked back to everything else. It's all connected. There's a fucking straight up Watch Dogs reference in this game. I don't know. It's cool. I want to talk about Bayek a lot and like the story and the characters that they're creating, but we can talk about that more another time. It's very good. I will say, like, it is both Assassin's Creed and like super not Assassin's Creed at the same time, and it seems like the kind of shot to the arm that the series really needed.
No, it needed that. It needed a change.
Yeah,
a big one.
And this is it for sure. It's super different and very exciting. And I'm trying to think. Outside that, I think that's all I played. Some stuff at Extra Life that I was into, but it was mostly Friday the 13th was the one I wanted to touch on.
Yeah, we ended up playing that a lot too.
Yeah, and that was a good finale for that show too.
Yeah.
And it turned out being a lot of fun.
Justin and I really fucking stuck it to Greg a couple times too.
Hell yeah, you did. It was tense. It was getting very real. Let's quickly, Namishin, since Geoff might have to leave because we're keeping this old man up too much. You want to talk to Geoff, and I want to hear.
To pick my brain.
I want to pick your brain too, but I want to hear what Namishin's got for you.
All right.
There's just a bunch of different stuff. Like, for people who don't know who Geoff is, he was someone I listened to constantly back in Interactive Distractions when that was a thing, and like, he was always like a very critical voice on podcast, and like, but critical in the best way. Like I've always said, like,
oh, thank you.
Like Geoff is like the most like unbiased person that I know.
I'm happy you're saying that out loud because a lot of people don't agree with that.
Yeah.
Basically,
people who don't listen, who don't listen to what you're saying, they just hear one thing, like, oh no,
you're just Xbox, right?
Yeah, exactly. That people called me that, and like I think the funniest part when I had that title from VG Evo, every single one of my game of the years, I think, while I was part of that, were PS3 games. So I'm like, how the fuck do you get off? Like, what? Whatever. Anyway,
it's all up front.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, I just want to know, like just like general thoughts, like certain gaming trends have been happening a lot this year. But like, how have you been feeling about 2017? Does it feel like the best year for games for you?
The best year ever? No. It's been a great year. I'll say I got the most use out of my PlayStation Pro this year for sure. I think I played that exclusively from about January till fucking just recently, I guess. Best year ever. It's been really good. Like right now, my hands down game of the year is Breath of the Wild. Mm-hmm. If I were to take Breath of the Wild out of the equation, I would have a hard time picking a game of the year, but I don't think I could build as strong as a list of game of the year for other years. Like 2007 stands out really high.
1997.
97 is really good. Yeah, it's like every 10 years. 97 was Half-Life and
Ocarina of Time.
Like that, Ocarina of Time, yeah.
Oh no, that was 1998. It was Final Fantasy VII was 1997.
Oh, gotcha. I would say it's the best year for this generation. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Yeah, I think for this generation of consoles, I'd put it as the best year. It's got a lot of good stuff. I mean, it's got Neo, it's got Nier, It's got Lost Legacy. It's got Breath of the Wild. It's got Mario. I know I'm missing shit that I'm like, this is really
It's got
high on my
Persona 5, you know, just
Persona 5. Yeah,
maybe
I didn't play Persona, so that's why that didn't come to my mind. I'd say it's got probably a good solid 12 games that are triple A, like 9 to 10 out of 10 rating games, like generally, I think. Overall.
Did you like Horizon? I was just
Oh, fuck, I forgot Horizon too. Jesus. Yeah, I really did. My problem with Horizon is Zelda came out. Like, that's my only problem with it. Like, I started playing Horizon first, and I bought Zelda on the Wii U. I played it on Wii U. I didn't even play it on Switch because I got a Switch recently. And Tanya wanted to play Zelda, so I'm like, okay, I got her Zelda, and I was playing Horizon, and she was playing Zelda, and I would watch her play Zelda, and I was like, that looks fun. Not that I wasn't having fun with Horizon, but I was like, that looks really cool. I'm like, I'm just gonna play for about 20 minutes this one given night. And I played for like 4 hours straight, and I didn't touch Horizon until I was done with Zelda.
Okay.
But I really did. Horizon was good. I think gameplay wise, it wasn't anything revolutionary whatsoever, but story was nice. It looked gorgeous. I think that is definitely at the time was the pro showpiece for sure. But it was good. I really liked it. That's probably my top 5, I'm guessing.
Is there any game this year that you think is going to get overlooked by the end of this year, as far as like a good game? Like you mentioned Neo. Like, do you think there's any?
Neo's going to be overlooked. Neo's not going to be it's not going to be mentioned in any game of the year conversation. I don't think at all. At least not like a top 10 list. Oh, dude, you're putting me on the hard. I should have looked up because you know what? I'm probably doing exactly what you're asking. Like, what's going to be overlooked? I'm like, oh god, what's something that early in the year that came out?
Was Nier Automata robbed at the Game Awards?
Okay, this is tough because I didn't like Nier. I didn't finish it. I played it for about 8 hours, and I just could not stick with the gameplay. And I understand that people say the storyline's awesome, the revelations that happen, the story is great, and you have to keep playing it. The gameplay couldn't grasp me, so I gave up. And as much as the story and characters can be awesome, if I don't like the gameplay and that doesn't keep me hooked, and the story isn't unbelievably awesome, I probably will stop playing it. So I can't, myself personally, I would say in a general, I would say yes in terms of what I see people like react to that game and how that game was. What's it called? Why can't can't think of words right now? What the hell's wrong with me? Received by a lot of people, I would say probably it was robbed. If we're just talking about the Game Awards itself, then no, because a lot of games were robbed from the Game Awards. A lot of shit was off that list that probably should have been on there.
How do you feel?
Did the Game Awards happen?
The nominees were announced.
The nominees happened.
Oh.
You
We're
only
not
had
going to
5.
go over them until later. Don't worry, Scott.
Yeah.
We'll get there. You can decide who was robbed and who wasn't later.
Yeah, I think Nier probably should have got a nod, but I think that was also very niche, and I think a lot of I don't know how the nominations work in that. I'm guessing it's
like let's be honest here. The VGAs haven't counted ever.
the VGAs
So
have it,
the-
but
no,
the Game Awards have. The VGAs are garbage.
I would say it's still, it's just one thing. It's not.
Yeah, and I mean, back when Spike did it, when it was like the VGAs, no one gave a shit. But when Jeff Keighley took over, he's consistently improved it every year he's done it.
No, it's been an improvement, but it still hasn't gotten to the point where it's mattered yet.
It matters to some
It
people.
matters. Yeah, I mean,
No, it
be
doesn't.
honest. No Game Awards should matter to anybody because who gives a fuck? Like if you
Except
like
for-
a certain
except for
game,
us.
who cares? Well, of course, Irrational Passion's Game of the Year is the only one you should be listening
The
to.
definitive game.
But like, yeah, the definitive Game of the Year awards, Irrational Passion.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah, but I mean, that's something that I never got, and we did it for fun when we did the podcast. But like, who cares? Like, if a game that you like isn't nominated, does that make you like the game any less?
Yes.
Do you
Like,
really need
yes,
that justification?
exactly. If you actually need those games to show up on a screen and be like, "This is nominated or to win," then you know what? You're not really secure with your feelings of that game because you need positive reinforcement, and that's every industry ever, like movie industry, video game industry, music industry. Like, you see it everywhere. People see a movie and be like, I really liked it, and then someone will say like, I didn't like it, and then all of a sudden, boom, defensive mode. Like, okay, you can discuss why you didn't like it, but the second people get defensive, it's like, did you really like it, or are you just thinking that maybe this person might have a point, and you might not have liked as much as you think you do? I don't know. It's a fucking rabbit hole to go down. But
Yeah,
anyway,
how much of your identity did you place in this movie?
yeah, exactly. Like, what's the point of getting angry? I don't get it. And the Game Awards, since Jeff Keighley took over, is probably definitely more. It definitely has more credit, credibility.
It's been a lot better.
Yeah, and the credibility, I mean, the first year he did it, I think, not Wolfenstein, Walking Dead won Game of the Year, and that was like a big thing of like, hey, they're not just going by popularity. It's not the Call of Duty game. It's not the fucking Madden. It's not whatever. Like, I remember the first Video Game Awards show I watched online. I don't know if you guys are probably babies, but Leslie Nielsen fucking hosted it, and they gave the Game of the Year to Mortal Kombat 1. This is a year after Mortal Kombat 2 was out.
Yo, shout out to Mortal Kombat 1 though.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat was garbage. I mean, I played the hell out of it, but 2 was so much better. But that's how bad it was. Like, it's come a long way, and like, I don't know. This is like more than 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like almost, it's probably about 25, 30 years ago, close to that. You should seriously look it up. It's probably on YouTube. Just look at Leslie Nielsen hosting Game Awards show. It's really fucking bad.
This sounds great.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, but let's be honest. Like, a lot of people don't watch that for the awards. They watch it for the reveals, and it's not E3 level, but a lot of good stuff does get revealed at the Game Awards. Like, there's a rumor that Rocksteady's new game is going to be announced and revealed at the Game Awards, which I want to see that. So I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, who cares? There's no awards show in games that actually matters, because they're all so different and varied. And I think if any of the developers care, the ones that really matter are the DICE Awards, because those are voted for by the developers and programmer stuff. So that makes sense for them. But as an audience, meh, it's gonna vary.
Yeah.
Yep.
How do you feel about PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds?
Never played it. I'm gonna try it when it comes out on Xbox in December.
All right.
I've played Fortnite. I've been playing Fortnite a little bit. That's kind of fun. I suck at it.
I forgot to mention I played Fortnite Battle Royale.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you my story. I didn't know that I could access that game for free. I played it. I got into a Battle Royale match.
Yeah.
Like a bus flies over the map, and then you jump out of it, and you paraglide. I was paragliding down, and when I put my paraglider away, the game crashed, and then I never.
It sounds like the game did right by you.
Yeah, it sounds like I won that match as far as I'm concerned.
The highest I got was 4th place, but with
I was throwing shade at the fact that you
one
didn't
kill.
actually play.
I mean, listen, I got close. I almost hit the ground.
Well, yeah. From what I've heard, that game is basically PUBG with no vehicles, no mods. Like, it's a very basic version of it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to checking it out, but I have no real opinion on it, because I've watched a lot of Twitch videos and stuff on it. It looks kind of fun, but I don't know. We'll see. I have got gamer ADD, and if I'm not constantly playing a game, multiplayer game, if you can't get into a match really, really quickly, I can lose attention pretty fast. And I didn't like how in Fortnite, if you got put out, whether it was in the first 10 seconds or in 10 minutes.
Do you know what it sounds like to me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like you should be a PC gamer. Because the PC solves that problem.
Yeah, you just boot up into something and run 3 games at once. In PUBG, you can queue for another round before, like, as soon as you die.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, technically you can do that in Fortnite. It just takes,
Takes over,
Anyway.
What are your current thoughts of the big three, Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft?
Fucking Nintendo came out of nowhere and are killing it. I didn't expect that. That's for sure. I was probably one of the biggest haters on the Switch when it was announced. But they did a good job. They did what Microsoft did in about a year what's taken Microsoft to do in 4 or like 3. So they took the Wii U, which was, let's be honest, a huge failure in their eyes and the market. Everyone thought they were done. how many people were screaming, "Stop doing hardware, do software, go
Yeah,
multi-platform like
hell no.
Sega"?
Hell no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, they're like,
Um,
nope. We're
Yeah, no, the people who are saying that, no idea how tech works.
Yeah.
well,
Period.
well, that I don't think it's a
Nope.
tech thing at all. It's a reputation and a marketable thing. Like
But
tech,
as to
like
why
they
were
could have
saying
easily
it,
made their games and
yes.
everything.
But
So
I mean,
for reference, the Switch is the base form of where computers are going.
but
Just
handheld and
generally
home console. Yo, shout out to PCs that I'd be able to take with me though.
NVIDIA Shield.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Sorry there.
You see, it's going to be your phone
Mm-hmm.
once
Yeah, that's
things are starting to get small enough, and you're going to have, instead of the big desktop I have here, is now going to be going to eventually be a booster.
well, okay. Here's the difference between that though. The mainstream people that played the Wii and not the Wii U, what that is to them is a tablet or a phone. The Switch is not a high-powered PC. It's not even a Xbox One or a PS4. It is basically a tablet that plays Nintendo games and other applications. I don't think that market, there's still the fact that it's still a video game console is still appealing. I don't think it's bringing in the people that are doing the whole tablet and phone thing quite yet, but they bounced back and got some of those people that know what Nintendo is and what consoles are. So I agree with what you're saying. Eventually, yes, you're going to be carrying a PC with you here or there, but that's not what the Switch is. The Switch is a glorified tablet that plays Nintendo games. In theory, in like what it actually like, isn't that thing like? Isn't it basically an Nvidia Shield, basically power wise?
kind of, yeah.
It's not a very powerful console. It's not bringing your PC on. It doesn't do anything more than your tablet or phone would do.
The thing about it is that your tablet generally doesn't have a dock.
Yeah, but like
It doesn't have a booster on it. Sure. The big thing here is that
but the Switch doesn't have a booster either.
it can do both,
it ports out to a TV.
whereas a
Yeah.
tablet doesn't.
Yeah. It's a smart, I mean, like as far as like a video game machine.
Like that.
it's
Like the big difference here is that I understand what you're saying, but the Switch does both, not
Yeah.
one.
But like,
Oh,
it's
100%.
It does that because of video game consoles and handheld and
That's
like, home consoles.
yeah. I don't think the
because,
Switch is reaching that audience that do the whole tablet phone thing. The Switch is getting back the video game audience it lost with the Wii U.
Yeah.
It hasn't gone across like grandparents and parents buying that thing yet, unless they're already into video games. I still think it has the video game market. It's not going beyond what tablets or phones have done, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
They're still getting the market that they lost from the Wii U back, which I did not think they could possibly do.
And they,
I thought,
they did like shrewd stuff, like as far as like partnering with indies. Like it was kind of like Sony,
Mhm.
and well, I mean, like
Well, when
you
they
even say like
started.
what Microsoft did with Xbox Live Arcade and what Sony did toward the end of the PS3, early PS4. Like Nintendo just kind of swooped into that market and made their thing an indie haven.
Yeah, and they sold a shitload, so now they want to get on there right away. And third party, I think Doom's running on the damn thing. Like, the fact that it's even running on the thing is amazing, and the fact that Bethesda's like, we're going to put stuff on here, and it'll probably sell okay. And the games actually run really well on it. So
Yeah.
that's my. Go ahead.
The Doom and Skyrim Switch port reviews are out now, and like they're
Yeah,
surprisingly
Skyrim's getting great
pretty
reviews.
positive. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird that like Bethesda worked really hard on porting that so that it worked and not just like kind of shitting it out, and
Mhm.
that's cool.
What was your big three? Sony's still killing it. I mean, they did the reverse Microsoft thing as when PS3 and Xbox 360 was a thing. They were the ones who said, we're in it for the gamers, we're doing this for you guys, and Microsoft were the arrogant pricks who basically were like, oh, we're going to have it online only, blah, blah, totally fucked everything over. Overpriced because of Kinect is something I don't understand. Who in the right mind in that meeting said, hey, you know that Kinect thing that barely works in 360? Let's pack that in with every new console up the price by $1,000. That would just be ridiculous. $100, and also let's make this thing underpowered compared to our competition. It was just dumb. Getting rid of Matrick and putting in Phil Spencer was the best thing they've ever done. He's riding that ship. It's taking a while, but he's doing it.
Right, because the Xbox One brings back the point of a console.
Yeah.
Exactly. And they're not focusing on media, and this is going to be your media hub.
No,
which it is, but they're not pushing that. They're not pushing TV. It's going to be your media.
No, it's for a long time. Console started at kind of a bargain in terms of your other options to play games. PC.
Yeah.
And now you see the Xbox One. Now it makes sense to actually have one, which is
because of the price?
What Alex Games. Yes.
Well, that and
to price it out something comparable on the PC, you have to start with the $800 graphics card that they put in the damn thing, and then go from there, and you've already lost.
It's not just that. It's like they've also created like that ecosystem because your 360 games will run it, and now your Xbox original games will run on it. It's like weirdly.
PC does that anyway, so that doesn't count.
Yeah, but
no, that's okay. No, no. At ease of use, and are you talking about PC does that for older PC games? Or for older console games? Because if you're going consoles, that's a totally different rabbit hole that you have to go through emulators and go through drivers and go through. Dude, I tried to do a MAME cabinet, and getting some of those games to run on my PC was fucking hell. We're talking like a console that's literally you put in your disc that you have and it plays.
Yeah, like for console to console, it's different than at least what Sony's doing.
And that goes back to my thing about before, is not everyone wants to play on a PC because they don't want to go through that stuff. People like consoles because it gives you an opportunity to play video games on your TV with the least amount of hassle ever. And that's still true to this day. Yes, a lot of games and consoles have updates. Most of them are automatic, and all you do is download, boom, good. Unless something really fucks up happen and they have to patch it again, you're pretty much good to go. Like, I've never had a problem on any console putting in a game and just playing it. On my PC, not so much the case. And some people don't understand that. Some people just don't want to do that. I don't think there's anyone who actually follows the industry that doesn't know the PC is the best place to play games if you want the highest fidelity, the best frame rates, best load times, or whatever. I don't think anyone would disagree with that unless they're lying to themselves. But the convenience of playing something on your TV that just works, and you don't have to worry about settings or anything, counts so much more to certain people than I think people understand.
Yeah, filthy plebs like me.
Yeah, and myself. I hate playing. Like, I got a really good fucking PC when this like the PC I have now was pretty damn good when I got it, and I gave it a shot for about. I bought Witcher 2 on it. I think Witcher 2 was the only game I think I really played from beginning to end on my PC. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. It just wasn't fun. And also because of my OCD, where I wanted to constantly change settings. I'm like, oh, I gotta, and I just was not. And then now it's getting like that on these consoles, because now on Xbox One X and PS4, you have like 2 or 3 different things you can choose from. Like, nah, I don't know, just make the decision for me. I don't like this.
Yeah.
But anyway,
this entire time, it just seemed like you were missing the point because you had an OCD problem, and now you just come out and said it.
No, that's
the truth comes out. I mean, I get that.
I'm OCD about settings, and I'm fucking lazy as fuck. So, what is the best thing for that? A console. But anyway, yeah. So they rated the ship there. I think the biggest problem with Xbox this year was exclusives, which is they were really bad. This was their worst year by far. What did they have this year? Forza 7, Cuphead.
Dude, let's talk about Recore Definitive Edition.
Oh, Recore. I never played Recore, so I don't. That's patched, right? Apparently, I don't.
Yeah, if you had Recore before, you have the Definitive Edition.
Cuphead is on Steam.
Again, back to what we talked about like 2.5 days ago. You cannot take gaming in a vacuum and assume that people who have an Xbox have the ability to get a PC.
Well,
Or
no, it just
PlayStation
doesn't count as an exclusive.
It's a console exclusive, no
console
matter
exclusive.
which, however you want to look at it, it's a console exclusive.
Just like Pyre is a console.
For people who
exclusive.
do not want a PC, they can only play Cuphead on Xbox One.
I mean, you could also turn that into. You could also turn that into bias exclusive too.
But like that counts, Scott, in the world of PlayStation versus Xbox versus Switch. Like those things do matter.
100%.
Half of these things are on PC, but like to the people that just live in the console ecosystem, which is like 85% of video game players,
Yeah.
is like all those quote unquote console exclusives matter. They don't to you, and you're fucking you. Congratulations, you have surpassed us all. You live in a higher plethora where fucking Owlboy comes to you first. But like for the rest of us plebs crawling on the floor down here, those things do matter.
They do matter because not everyone wants to get a PC or can afford a PC.
So it's like the SteamWorld Dig 2 comes to Switch first, and the Pyre comes to PS4 first, and the Cuphead comes to Xbox One first. You know.
Yeah, and another
matter.
thing is not everyone in the world can afford more than one gaming platform. Someone might just have an Xbox One, might just have a PlayStation. So anything that's available on PC, that's moot to them.
God,
it's exclusive to
sounds
what
nice,
they're
though.
playing.
Imagine like if you only had to buy games for one thing.
Oh, that would be amazing. Like I thought about it so many times, just selling everything and keeping it in one. I'm like, I can't do it.
You need that Lost Legacy, and you need.
And I need my
5.
Halos. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Oh god, yeah, this year is bad for Microsoft. But again, people are like, "There's no exclusives." But if you're an Xbox fan, you like Gears of War, you like Forza, you like Halo, you like Remedy games like Quantum Break, yeah, like Sunset Overdrive, Ori and the Blind Forest. So it's on PC. We went through this again. Scott, shut up.
But that's
like,
through the Microsoft Store, so that one counts.
it's
That's what I'm
oh,
saying.
God.
There you go.
All right, but it's okay. Then Devil's
It's like
Advocate, it's
you
still on
could-
PC.
If you really all that high about consoles, Steam Machine is a thing. It counts as a console. Fuck you.
Steam Machine? How good did those do? Those did really well, didn't they?
Man, let's not talk about Steam machines.
Yeah. But anyway, like I think Xbox was more front heavy on exclusives because PlayStation, the games I really enjoy on PlayStation, I didn't play until this year, or I guess late last year. Bloodborne was my game of the year that year from the Xbox. That was my game of the year by far, and that wasn't even a sequel or regular series. That was just like a fucking great game. But it was Bloodborne and Infamous Second Son, which was mediocre at best. I'm sorry, I love Infamous. Now should I know? Okay, I'm an Order defender. Like I like the Order, and I like Rise. I like pretty things. So if something's really pretty and has a decent gameplay for all 30 seconds you play it at a time, I could.
Man, remember
Actually,
when Order ended?
Oh shit. But yeah, so but I mean, like people seem to forget that. Like if you liked Microsoft games, you got a lot of exclusives you really liked in the first 3 years. You got 2 Forza Horizons, you got 2 Forzas, you got a proper Gears of War, a proper Halo, a really good remake of Gears. You got Sunset Overdrive, you got Quantum Break, you got Ori and the Blind Forest. You got a lot of good stuff. This year, nothing. Well, not nothing. This like, hyperbole, nothing.
Forza 7, you know.
Yeah, but Halo. Oh, yeah, for all the 3 people that give a shit about that. But then Sony killed it. Finally, they had a really good lineup, and it just like it's all that whole like, what have you done for me lately mentality.
Sure.
Like they destroyed it this year. Like again, I played my PlayStation almost exclusively from January till outside of multiplayer games from January till when the X came out.
Yeah,
Except for
I mean,
multiplayer stuff.
I'm
that I
sure
played
you
with my
were all
buddies.
over Tales of Berseria, that hot.
Well,
console
okay,
exclusive.
yeah. Oh god, yeah. See, I hate when people do that too. They're like, but it's got like no one like. Okay, you might care about it, but on the grand scheme of things, no one cares about it. Like,
Listen, man, I care about Tales of Berseria, you motherfucker.
Well, that's awesome. My thing is like exclusives are something that you justify a console purchase on if you're buying more than one console. If you're only buying one console, go ahead.
Here we go, Scott.
So you shouldn't buy a console, is what you're telling me.
No. I'm saying if you're buying one console, you basically pick what do you like better: Uncharted, Halo, fucking Gears, fucking I can't even say Horizon Zero Dawn. That's only like one series, or like Forza, Gran Turismo. You buy it on that because a lot of people, like, no matter what people say about exclusives, multi-platform games sell the most on any given console.
For sure.
That's just the truth. Most people buy those. So it goes from whatever console you want to get, if you're only getting one, to which exclusives you might think are better, or whichever system is running those multi-platform games better and that you want. So that's how that you get into that ecosystem, and that's kind of what exclusives do. And my rule is the rule of thumb is rule of 3. Like once a system has like 3, unless it's okay, I'm kind of going to go hypocritical here, but for Nintendo systems, my rule is the rule of 3. Once it has like 3 games I need to have, I buy it. Sony and Microsoft, I'm pretty much guaranteed to get, just because I know what I'm getting from them. I know those systems are going to be supported generation or for the entire life cycle of those systems, so I don't worry about it regardless. Again, Microsoft, you're like, oh my god, it's getting its ass kicked by Sony, and it is. It's being outsold 2-1, at least up to this point. But there's still 36 million Xbox Ones out there. It's not going away anytime soon. It's not going to not get supported. I just think exclusives are kind of blown out of proportion. It's mostly used in console. Because somebody might not like Uncharted, somebody might not like Gears, somebody might not like Halo, might like whatever. It doesn't mean those games on those systems suck or they're not good exclusives. But I see that argument get thrown out all the time. Like, all Microsoft has is this, and this. Yeah, but there's people out there that like this, and this. And same with Sony.
Just to go off what you were saying, in the NPDs for this month, the number 1 and 2 slots were Shadow of War and Assassin's Creed Origins, which were 2.
There you go, 2 multi-platform games. Yeah.
So.
And I think Odyssey was 3. Right?
Odyssey was
there was a report that came out that Odyssey is still the best-selling game of this month because it didn't have the digital sales with it, but
well, none of them have digital sales. Yeah, exactly.
Well, NPD updated so they do have it, but whatever.
They have it for the PlayStation Store and the Xbox Game Store, but not
but that's
the Switch Store or Battle.net. So that's why it's.
Gotcha. Yeah. So basically, they probably sold more digitally than they did retail on Mario, which is understandable. I mean, Mario's probably one of the best games ever made.
Yeah, it's the fastest selling Mario game. That was also a thing that came out. So. Faster. It sold faster than New Super Mario Bros. Wii for the Wii, which had a significantly larger
install base at the time
when that released. So
I don't know.
I have one more solid question for Jeff, but like, do you have one, Alex? Because I don't want to keep it here too long.
No. I'm good. I'm just listening to Jeff fucking shit all over Scott, and I'm loving it.
Well, you see, the thing about it is he's wrong about every point he made from the PC standpoint. It's not worth arguing.
I would say that.
It's not worth arguing.
But like
simply because.
What is wrong about how is subjectivity wrong?
Well, you said consoles are just as easy as plug in and play. PCs are just about at that level too.
The
big issue is, are you doing piracy related things? Have developers?
I have never done piracy related things to do with my PC.
Is the game itself broken from release?
Well, I mean, Scott, you say this, but you also come from a biased perspective yourself, so you're coming from a subjective perspective, and also,
I'm just going from the reasons.
I'm saying
there's a reason to have a console.
It's not necessarily about that. It is also the perception of PC. Like, you have to look at the way the general people who play video games view PC, and they view it as complicated. You don't. But because
you're used to it, yeah. I'm sure if I stuck to it for a while, I'd be like, yeah, this is easy. And also, my whole thing comes down with the couch and big TV. And people are like, oh, you just hook up your PC or TV. Where my PC is not even close to my TV. I tried that in my old apartment, and it was a pain in the ass. And just, yeah.
It would be casting. But no, that's a whole different story.
But like,
if I had a Wi-Fi card in my PC, which I don't.
We also sit here and have this conversation because at E3, the big three are Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo with their 3 big consoles, because consoles sell better than PCs and games sell better on consoles by a huge margin. And we live in a console video game world, not a PC video game world. Like, that's just the truth. even if like predominantly
And-
PC is a better platform to play on because it has
I
so
mean,
much
at
diversity.
the
I mean,
same
again-
time, it just explained the sold copies of WoW.
You're really gonna wow. Okay,
Wow,
WoW's
a-
an
a-
anomaly. You're
a
gonna take
game that's
one
been
game
out for
of
13 years
1,000.
also.
Yeah, that's an anomaly. It's an exception, not the rule.
And it's also a game that doesn't exclusively run on modern PCs. It runs on
It runs on
literally
everything. I think it can run on my fridge at this point. But like not to bash against Scott, but I literally just said that anyone would be stupid not to say PC was the best place to game. But then the PC, this is the thing is people get defensive about people talking down on PC, and I don't get that. What is wrong with people saying they want a game on a console more than a PC?
There is nothing wrong with people saying they want a game on console.
But you literally just said that everything I've said was wrong about PC.
It's the reasons.
But
Why?
your reasons was subjective, saying about being an. Even if you say that PCs are plug and play, they're not as plug and play as consoles, at all. My fucking parents hooked up a PS4 and figured that out.
And
If I were to
they're
tell them how to
1,000
get
years
there,
old.
yeah, exactly. Like, you know how old I am? Multiply that. They gave birth to me. Well, I'm just pick your brain. What was another thing that you thought I said I was wrong about PC gaming?
The first one was the plug in and play one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
The second one was the TV aspect.
What was the TV aspect?
I'm assuming you enjoy the TV because it's big, or is it because of the environment?
It's because of the entire environment, the couch, the TV, the everything. But I said I prefer it, so I want you to tell me how my preference is wrong.
The big thing is
God, it's like an episode
there's
in an episode of
why
Irrational.
there is no reason why the console couldn't be originally in the PC environment in the first place, and vice versa.
I never said that. I said I prefer the couch environment with a big TV, and I said that I even tried to do that with my other PC and didn't like it because my PC was really far away from my TV. So explain to me how my preference of how I like to do that is wrong.
No, I'll wait.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
This is what I don't get. PC gamers, and no offense, Scott, for some reason they get very, very, especially with the X coming out, I've seen so much shade thrown at that from PC gamers. Well, it's not true 4K 60. I'm like, no, you know what? The people who are buying it don't give a fuck.
Well, yeah, that's not the point.
They don't care.
I mean, I do, like, to play devil's advocate, I see where you're coming from, Scott, but, like, also keep in mind, you know, like, we're just sitting here having this fucking conversation on a fucking video games podcast. Like, this isn't, like, a definitive fact. It's just, like, something that is true is that the majority of, like, in the grand scheme of people who play video games, most people play on console. And you can look at the PS4 install base of, like, what, fucking 66 million or whatever they've sold out there. Like, there are more PS4s out there than there are, like, built gaming PC towers.
Oh, for
that we
sure.
know of.
Yeah.
And that's just like, okay, that is a wider install base, and then if we add on the number of Xbox One sold out there, you know, we're looking at like 90 plus million consoles.
No, right about now we're
people's
about
houses.
90, yeah. 90
Plus Switches and whatever. It's just like these are consoles, and like this is a huge market, and it is a bigger market than PC. That is why we talk about consoles versus PC. It is not actually consoles versus PC. They all live in an ecosystem.
it's
together.
consoles and PC. There's just people have different preferences.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the thing.
That's the thing. Is the big thing here is that at the very least through this confiscation, it's been consoles versus consoles, and then PCs.
Well, that was the
And
question.
Yeah,
that
like,
was the
that's-
question directly.
That's really the truth. It's consoles versus consoles, and then PC is also there hanging out.
Well, and to be honest, Navishn's question was, what do you think about the big three? It wasn't, what do you think about the big three and PC? So that's why the conversation was about those three.
Implied. What do you think about the big three, and PC is also there too?
Yeah, well, nah. Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Not to mention, these statements are no longer true now that mobile's in the market.
It's true. Like, I mean, well, that's a whole other thing. Like, that's a whole other ecosystem.
It's not.
It is, because there's also a different subsect of people who play games on mobile versus who play games on console. And then there's a third subsect that play games on console and on mobile. And the way those two relationships tie in together is either not at all or in a completely different kind of market than what we see. Now, trends influence both. like microtransactions. and things
Look at
like that.
Battlefield 2.
Yeah, Battlefront 2 being
Or Battlefront,
perfect example, but like they are different ecosystems because of the way people play them and because of the players that play them.
And
as well.
a perfect example is how the reaction was to Battlefront 2 versus how something like Clash of Clans happens on mobile. People are fine with. Oh, also mobile's free to play, but look at that backlash that happened on Battlefront 2, which I'm sure you're gonna get to. That doesn't happen with mobile
This is the
games.
point where
I think we tackled that already.
I don't think we did, do we?
We tackled some of it, but then there was some more.
We more like alluded to it, but we're not
Yeah.
going to get into it this episode. So, but I mean, we've had a interesting conversation on top of it.
And I still love you,
else was-
Scott. Don't
what
worry.
We're going to ask Nalbushin
Oh, yeah, same.
back on rails.
Yeah, just like this last thing. So like months ago, me and Jeff had like a really good conversation about like the state of Xbox and like how they're going. Because my initial question for him is like will the Xbox One ever grab what the Xbox 360
360 did. Yeah.
Yeah. And like I feel like they're on track with that right now, like especially now like with Phil Spencer and like how they're going and like all the things they're saying. They're not they haven't showed it yet, but I think 2018 will show that they're actually doing that stuff.
That's what they have to do. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I'm still concerned about like cuz like when I think about the 360, especially like with backwards compatibility, like seeing all the games that are on there, like I see stuff like Catherine and like like Blaze Blue or some mobile fighting games or whatever not. Is like I don't know if they'll be able to grab the Japanese market anymore. And
Oh,
like,
they will not touch. They barely have the Japanese market to begin with. even
yeah,
on
but
360.
like I feel like that's unfortunate for that system because like I know like you know like sure Nier sold like what 2 million for like being on PC and PS4, but like that's not going to be like anything like close to like that's not even going to touch Wildlands or something like that. But
No.
like it makes me like question about like
Well-
like building a brand and like getting diversity on your brand. It's not like just indie games and not just the big AAA games, but like getting something like different and diverse from like what you can get from like the Japanese games. Because like when you think about like the beginning of this year, especially in 2017, like they had like Persona 5 and like Neo and Yakuza 0 and all these other like weird games that are like in the conversation and like people are loving them or like they were a big part of the conversation at the beginning.
Eliminate Yakuza from that because that was never on an Xbox console. That was always like a Sony thing.
I mean,
But I know what you mean though.
Yeah,
In general, like weird niche titles to me, like Japanese developed ones especially, they follow the biggest installed base they always have because they don't sell that well in North America outside of the hardcore people that are into them. Don't forget, like when 360 was first launched, Microsoft put a shitload of money into Mistwalker and paid them to develop 2 games because they didn't know what they were going to get for the Japanese market. So they did the whole Lost Odyssey and Blue Dragon. It wasn't until 360 was clearly ahead and had a really good installed base that other Japanese developers jumped on, like From Software. They did what was that ninja game? I can't remember what it was called.
Ninja Blade?
Was it Ninja Blade? No, not Ninja Blade. It was like kind of like Ninja Gaiden. I'm pretty sure it was From Software. They did Chrome Hounds as well. I think From Software did Chrome Hounds.
Yeah, they did.
Like that's when those developers started jumping on because they know that they probably already have a little bit of a market on the PlayStation side, but if they just put it on 360, they'll make some money back. Whereas this time, the Xbox One doesn't have that installed base. So they already have the people that were more into those kind of niche games on Sony's platforms and the bigger installed base. Let's throw it on there. And to be honest, I don't know why they're not porting them, especially games
That's
like
my
Neo.
Yeah,
like I like Nier, I can understand. I don't understand how Neo didn't get ported over because the Souls games do really well on Xbox. So, and even though it's not directly like a Souls game, it's similar, in some ways better, in my opinion. But I'm surprised they haven't ported stuff. I'll give you that. But I think that's why you're seeing more of that stuff on PS4 is because it's got the bigger install base by double, and the market. As I really don't think a lot of those niche Japanese titles did well on 360, even though they were on 360.
I think they did in the West though, like because like when people go from PS2, they went to
On the
straight to
East or the
360.
West? Oh yeah.
I'm just saying like bringing the stuff to,
Well, like
to
what?
the West and like trying to make it like like I said, like I would love just a porting house, just like to put those games on an Xbox One, because like I have a lot of friends who love the Xbox ecosystem, but like they're not getting like their fighting games or whatever else. Because
fighting game. That's the one thing I don't get either. Like the fighting games, especially, like they get Injustice, they get the NetherRealms games, Street Fighter, not because obviously it was paid for by Sony. Like they helped develop that game, so it's not coming anywhere soon. But like stuff like Guilty Gear, BlazBlue, and BlazBlue sold much better on 360 as far as I know than PS. But a lot of people in the fighting game community, I think, went to PlayStation 4 during this turn of the generation because, one, Microsoft was fucking stupid and had a no fighting game clause on the Xbox One because of Killer Instinct.
That's right.
For like a year and a half or almost 2 years. That's why the Injustice Definitive Edition didn't come to it. And Ed Boon alluded to that on Twitter. People were like, why isn't this coming to Xbox One? He's like, we'd love to bring it to Xbox One, but we can't. Turns out Microsoft literally had a strict no fighting because they wanted to push Killer Instinct. Like they were so stupid. They were like the dumbest corporation they could have ever been when Xbox One launched, leading up, well, probably 3 months leading up to it and a couple months after. And and the thing is,
they assumed they are going to be the biggest ones ever.
They were they were Sony and PlayStation 3. They literally switched. Get
positions. Another job and pay for our $500 console.
Exactly. Yeah. Just get a better internet. What if we don't have internet? Well, tough fucking luck. Buy a 360. Like, really? You're gonna tell that to be like, you fucking idiots.
Yeah.
But do you think this will improve in the next year or so? Like, do you think we get these games?
No, not really.
Okay.
I think we're gonna see. Well, I think we're gonna see with the X. I legit think every single multi-platform game, well, not every single, I'll say like 80%, is gonna get really good updates on the X. I think like those games will run better on the X, but until that number gets closer to PS4, which I don't know if it can. Overall, I don't think we're gonna see those. We're still gonna see those Japanese games, those really niche games on PlayStation, only PlayStation. But I mean, are those really? Do you really care if you have both? I mean, if you only have one console, but if people only have one, like, who's buying an Xbox who likes those games? Probably nobody. If they're just buying one console.
People have 360s. That's my argument, dude. Like,
but do you think those people haven't already sold them at this point and been like, I'm getting a PS4?
I mean, there's like, people love Xbox Live, and like there's friends that I know that played like Catherine on the Xbox 360 and like and also like Grand Theft Auto. So like I'm trying to speak to those people.
Those are two games that were on both. But what are some examples though that are those games that are just on PS4 that are not on Xbox One?
Like Nier or
Nier
something
was the big
like that.
one. That's on PC.
But what's
Persona,
well, Persona was never on 360.
Yeah, but like,
well, like, you know, Kingdom Hearts 3 is in here, but
no. But Navishin said that people who I asked, who are those people that would have an Xbox, not a PS4, what those games were. Persona would not be one of those because that was never on 360.
I think Neo would probably be one of those kinds of games.
Yeah, I don't. That could be back and forth because.
But that's still like apples and oranges though, because like, you know, like you could say like Final Fantasy was never on 360 more or less, but like, you know, like 13, yeah.
Well, 11, 13 on were all on there. I don't know how that's sold. It's probably sold better on PS4 because there's more of them out there. But I don't think anybody. Like, I'm trying to think of exclusive games. The multi-platforms don't count in this situation. This question that you asked. I'm talking about games that are just on PS4 that people that would have liked those games that played on 360 that they can't play on Xbox One. Like Nier is probably a good one. Neo's arguable because that's kind of. There's the Souls games that were on both.
But Dark Souls sold better on 360 than it did on PS3, so...
Yeah, installed base, exactly. But 3 came to Xbox One. Neo's a new IP. So there's no way they would have known that was going to come to one or the other, right? So I don't see any of those... Which series that people would have enjoyed on the 360 that jump ship and are not on 360?
I guess
or not on Xbox One.
Tales is, but I guess
Tales a good one, yeah, because Vesperia was on 360. Yeah.
Bought Vesperia onto 360, and I know that definitely opened a lot of people up onto that series. So, and that's jumped ship since.
But do you think that was a number that's worthwhile? Like, what are we talking? Maybe, I don't know. How much did it sell on 360 versus? Well, it wasn't on PS3 till later, right?
Well,
it only came to PS3 in Japan.
Yeah. I guess the question is then is like, do you think all it is about the numbers and just not like because like
Yes.
when we think about like something
For
like Gravity
developers-
Rush 2, that game's not going to sell like 1 million. It didn't sell 1 million. That's why
No.
the servers about even to turn off or whatever. But like it brings people to the system though, and
it brings people to the system that look at collaborative exclusives as a whole. It goes back to my point earlier that exclusives do not sell that well, except outside of the big ones, outside of the Uncharted, the Halos, the Horizons, like the ones that are really pushed. Those sell really well. The ones that are not those ones don't really sell as well as I think you think they do.
Oh, I don't think they sell as good at all. But I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
I don't think those are the. I don't think any one particular game that is not those big ones sways a certain person by one console or the other. It's the collective of the idea of there's so many exclusives that does it. It's like, okay, there's so many exclusives coming out this year. Oh, that's awesome. I'm gonna go get that console. But I don't think those people necessarily buy those games that they don't really know about. If that makes sense, it's like this. It's not the what's the saying? It's not the the sum of all parts kind of thing. It's like it's kind of hard to explain.
So do you think like they're just not porting these things to Xbox One just to avoid the profit loss?
I'm guessing because I really don't think a lot of those games even sold well on Xbox 360. Like some of them might have sold more than on PS3 when they did that kind of stuff, but I don't think they sold that great. Like how many of those games got sequels? Like how many games at the top of your head, Nabishin, that were Japanese developed on 360 that got sequels?
that was on 360.
Yeah.
The Tales games, Bayonetta, if you count like the Nintendo thing.
Nope, Bayonetta went to Nintendo. That didn't even get on either of the ones it sold on.
Yeah, that was a weird situation too.
Yeah.
Games and all that stuff, but like
Yeah, I can't.
I think the big thing Nabishin's getting at is that Xbox 360 had them.
Yeah.
Oh, because the numbers.
They existed on Xbox 360.
Yeah.
And when they didn't on the next gen, when people expected them to, a lot of people got mad and had to then jump ships.
But that's what I'm asking for examples of which those games are, because I really don't think a lot of those games would make a difference.
Most of them are going to be multi-platform.
Then those don't count.
From the same people who were playing Halo.
But I think they do count. They just don't count as much. But like when you think about like Catherine, which is multi-platform, Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2, which were multi-platform, Final Fantasy 13, and then Final Fantasy...
These are all games that have also been on Xbox One.
Yeah,
all their sequels.
I know, but like they do count. Well, like Catherine would be an example. That the sequel.
Well, that's
to that
not on
game would
either.
be Persona. Yeah. And because that's the same studio, and that only came to PS3. Like I think they count to some extent. I
don't think they count in the context of this conversation. They count is because PS4 was cheaper, and they're going to get those games are going to come there. That's where we're specifically talking exclusives that were on 360, that were these niche titles that jumped ship and only went on PS4. So far, we've only been able to name one series.
But I think
Tales.
like all the Japanese games do count, and the fact that like
that's what I'm getting at. What
they're
are
starting
they?
to drop off like Xbox One altogether, though.
Oh, they've already dropped off, but I'm still trying to get examples out of you guys, and I still haven't heard any besides Tales.
But like if games like Neo or Nier would have come to 360 in a past era, and them not coming to Xbox One in this era, it doesn't show well for Microsoft.
No, but I don't think those would have come to 360 if they didn't have the installed base already. They would have been on PlayStation. The only reason those went to 360 is because they had the install base. So my point is, what Nabishin said, to developers, it is all about numbers. It's all about the installed base, because those are such niche titles that they have to put that out on the biggest install base they possibly can to make a profit. As to why they don't port them, I don't know. Why didn't they port some of those 360 games to PS3 when PS3 eventually caught up? There's a lot of games that were on 360 that weren't on PS3, but they didn't port those either.
Yeah, I think infamously, like
they did
Microsoft
eventually
bought
like,
a lot of those things.
For some games, yeah.
Yeah. For some games, but Blue Dragon and Tales of Vesperia never came to 360 in the U or PS3 in the US.
Yeah.
Because like Microsoft infamously
well, Blue Dragon was that Microsoft owns that, and Lost Odyssey.
There was one other one.
Lost Odyssey.
Lost Odyssey, yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of.
What was that Fist one? It was like a really early 360 game.
Ooh.
Guy in a red jacket. Oh, what the hell was it called?
Like the
It was an
West
RPG.
West, I think?
No, that was the Square Enix one. It was like way before that. It was like a launch game or like close to launch game. It came to PS3 eventually, like way later. What was it called? It was really bad. It was known for having a very stereotypical gay character, like over the top stereotypical gay character. Oh my god, what was it called? It was an RPG.
Did it have Fist in the name?
Yes, I'm almost positive that Fist in the name. I could be way off.
Okay, so we'll call it the fisting game.
Sure.
The fisting game.
That is how we will reference it as. So
It
had
wasn't
that
that
one
great.
Fist
fisting
of
game.
the North Star. No.
No, this is really gonna fucking bug me. I'm gonna have to look this up.
Yeah. I'll see if I can find
But yeah, I really think Xbox is not gonna get those games back again. At least not this generation.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, or about to say 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
They're not coming this generation.
No, it's too late unless they do the PS3 thing where like years down the line when they get like to like I don't know 70 million sold, then maybe.
Actually, yeah. No, I was just thinking, like, I guess Nier even more so because the original Nier came out on 360 and PS3, and then Nier Automata only came out on PS4.
Only came out on PS4. Yeah, but also there could be some sour grapes there because the whole scale bound thing too.
Yeah, I wonder.
So that's a whole other can of worms, which is fucked up.
Also, yeah. I can't find this Fist game. I think
I'm looking it up right now.
You might have dreamed it up.
No, I got it. I don't think it might not have Fist in the name, but
Can we still?
Can we call it the fisting game?
Sure,
Yeah,
we can definitely
can
call
we
it
still
that.
call it the fisting game?
This the second I say it, you guys can be like, "Oh fuck, yes, of course."
Probably not,
Probably not, actually.
because the reason why we
Navashin
didn't
will get
name
it.
anything
Not
for the longest time is
Navashin will get it
'cause
for sure.
we barely know any Asian developers.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
except for From Software.
Those guys are pretty lit.
Square Enix.
Yeah. Does anyone really know Square Enix?
Yeah, not anymore. They're a shadow of their former selves.
All I have is Fist of the North Star.
It's not. It might not have Fist in it. I think I'm just kind of. What the fuck is this? Is it even listing? Oh, this is so dumb. Anyway, you guys want to talk about yourself? Do you have another question or something before I need to find this? I'm not leaving till I find this. Just to let you guys.
I think that's it. I think that's all we got.
So, what do you think about the story that came out?
The store.
The story that came out
Whoa, what, Battlefield
about
2s?
about I believe it's an Activision patent.
Oh, yeah.
Oh wait, what? What?
Okay, so
Activision-
Activision patent about loot box items that
Okay.
pits players who have them against players that don't, intentionally.
What?
Yep,
That
I'm
is
pretty
really
sure it's Activision.
ridiculous.
It might be
It's Activision.
Yeah, that's a thing now.
It was. I think it was a submission for a patent, though. I don't know if they've been approved for it yet.
I hope they get it.
Just to really...
Listen, people already do it. If they have to pay Activision to keep doing it, I'm all for it because that means less people are going to do it.
Yeah, so that means Scott will just continue to never play another Activision game.
I already don't really play Activision games.
Yeah.
Like that Destiny, though.
Yeah, you are playing Destiny, though.
There you go.
They got you, Scott. It was Toy Story Mania,
Racked
wasn't
in.
it?
But I play the Blizzard version.
I guess it's on BattleNet, but it's still an Activision published game. They're still getting their greedy money pockets. Yaiba Ninja
I guess it
Gaiden
would be a
Z?
dual published game then.
Is that what we're talking about? It's not. I like that we had news stories, but we actually touched base on all of them almost throughout that conversation. So I think I did my hosting duties. That's it. We got to end this podcast.
No, hold on. Drag it out. I need to fucking find this shit.
Jeff, I'll do the outro.
You have until titles.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And you
So
figure
like
out-
you have another 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah. Well, let's not go that far.
I'm letting them know the truth.
Yeah. You have
The
another,
truth.
let's say 5 minutes. The new truth.
He has another 30. Like, to be real, he has until we do titles.
Listen, I'm going through it. Thank you for listening. If you want to be a part of the show and send us questions, we didn't get any questions this week, but it's okay because we wouldn't have had fucking time. to do them. We normally do news, but we're just going to skip that because we had a good discussion.
We talked a lot of news in there. Yeah.
If you'd like to be a part of the show, you can email us, mailsack@irrationalpassions.com is the email address. You can leave us a voicemail at 404-590-1337. Standard long distance fees do apply, or you can tweet your questions at IrrationalPod. Use the hashtag IPQ, and we will read it on the show. If you'd like to follow each of us on Twitter, that's probably the best way to get a hold of any of us.
Enchanted arms! Oh, that's it. No fist. It's an arm.
Enchanted arms?
Yes. It's an actual thing.
I've never heard of this game.
Oh, really? It was a close to launch 360 game.
I do remember this
It came to PS3 like
Holy
years
shit.
later.
Yeah. Well, Jeff, you have to stick through the end of the show now.
Oh, I'm going to. Yeah.
You can follow each of us on Twitter. I am at AlFighter27. Scott is at WhatTechuz. Nabishin is at NABESHIN186. Tony's at Tony Horvath, all one word. Jeff, you are at Indus Jeff.
I am, yes.
It is spelled.
I should probably change that.
I was thinking that.
Indus Jeff for
I'm too
life.
lazy. No.
And you can follow the site and the show on Twitter at IrrationalPod. Some other stuff, rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher and Google Play. Check out the Monthly Passions podcast and Inputs, a video games news show on IrrationalPassions.com. Go to twitch.tv/IrrationalPassions and YouTube. If you like the show, tell your friends about it. Word of mouth is the best way to spread the love. And for everything else, Irrational Passions, IrrationalPassions.com. I didn't think of a bet, Nabishin, so we can just skip it this week.
Skip it.
We got
Game Awards next week.
Yeah, we got Game Awards next week. It'll Thanksgiving. It'll be good.
What
time.
about all of the bets that we had from?
I've gotten everything, I believe, except for the Mario Moons bet.
I got in contact with Andrew Taylor, who played the most of it. So.
Okay. We'll get hard numbers. I think that's everything.
Yep.
Oh, and I have to go back through the footage and listen to the OKB segment again, but I believe I have a number for that. I think it's like 8.
Okay.
So, I counted LaCroix cans.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. By hand.
God, can we just do that one?
Yeah. So the bet was how many LaCroix cans will be in the LaCroix boy bag.
Okay, so give us this.
Yeah.
Who won the original bet?
What do you mean, like?
I thought are we doing a bet on top of the LaCroix dance, or are you just revealing who won?
No,
the bet?
I'll just tell you what the actual number was.
Oh, okay.
Joey betting for Team BBC bet 49, and John betting for Team Flop bet 57. The actual number is 24.
Dang.
Because
I'm proud of us.
There were a lot of LaCroix cans in a lot of different places.
Yeah.
Not just in the bag, which the bag was then repurposed for recycling.
Yeah.
In general, but I took all the LaCroix cans out of it by hand and counted them.
Wait, so you only counted the ones that were in that bag?
Yes.
Yeah, that was what the bet was.
That was.
Oh,
what
I thought the bet was just in general, but there would be a bag to make the counting of the bet easy.
Outside
that
of
was the intent, but like it'll be too hard at this point.
Outside of the bag, there was maybe like 10 to 12 more. I'll say.
Yeah, because like you could have.
I have a
So
lot of
basically what you're
LaCroix
saying is
left
that
in my
you've got a lot of
house.
extra
Right. What I was
LaCroix
going to
that
say
you have
is
no idea
you
what you're
have
gonna
more
do.
than one case left of LaCroix.
Yeah, I have like about a 2.5 cases.
You fill one box, right?
Yeah.
And then you count what's missing.
So what you're saying, Alex, is we need to fill a bathtub full of LaCroix and have you bathe in it on camera.
Absolutely. Butt naked. We will
Okay, no,
revisit.
please wear a bathing suit.
No.
Please.
We will revisit
For me.
bets next week, though, and we'll figure out who really won what, and then make our bets for the Game Awards. Thank you, Jeff, for coming on.
Hey, no problem. That was fun.
I
I
hope you had
haven't
a
done
good
the
time.
podcasting thing in a while.
I
No,
hope-
it was good.
I hope you felt challenged.
I did
mentally,
feel challenged.
emotionally.
Oh, definitely mentally. I'm very mentally challenged.
Emotionally?
Emotionally challenged.
Emotionally, I'm dead inside somewhere.
Vertically?
Yeah, vertically challenged.
Vertically,
Ooh.
definitely not.
You're a tall gentleman.
I'll
Jeff.
stop.
Yeah.
Horizontally, not so much. I'm getting
Ooh.
more horizontally. No, wait. Horizontally challenged to mean I'm not. I'm getting fatter.
It's always a pleasure to have you on, Jeff. It's been way too long. And I love
Definitely.
you.
Thank you, man. Love you guys too. Even you, Scott.
Aw.
Yeah, same.
Look, see,
And
see-
that is the same as in I love you too, and not as in I love me as well. Okay? Because I could after saying it, I can see how someone would take it that way.
and God knows we would. Thank you to Danny Wiesner for opening music of Two-Player Co-op and our closing music of The World is Saved. Thank you again to everyone who tuned in to our Extra Life stream and who donated and who participated and who killed it during that. Look out for those archives very soon. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Nabishin, for joining me as always. I love you guys. A winky face.
Hey, hold on, Jeff. Isn't that gross?
What, the winky face? It's
Yeah.
kind of creepy. Yeah.
Yep.
There we go.
I mean,
There
but
we
I kind
go.
of got a weird boner though.
Yeah! I've been your host, Alex O'Neill. Play your games. Stay rational. We will talk to you all next week.
Peace.
Don't stop recording yet.
Titles.
Not stopping recording.
Don't stop yet.
Oof, did you find it?
Titles.
Titles. Tony, read me some titles.
Did you try unplugging and plugging it back in?
Did you try it, Jeff?
I did, and it worked.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I
As
put
it
it into a
often does.
new slot. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna make another drink if we're gonna be here for a second. So hold on.
It's just gonna be like 2 to 5 minutes. Could
Okay,
you
I'm getting a
please?
drink.
All right.
A little. My drink will be like 10 seconds.
All right,
Alright.
I'll wait.
More like 17. Don't count.
One Mississippi.
I'm gonna
I
just fill this space with dead air.
I still have the deck of death.
Do you?
Call Danny Warren.
Call it.
Nabishin, hit me with an intro.
What? An intro? Right now?
Yeah, Nabishin intro.
Oh, shit.
Put him on spot.
Yeah.
Why does he have to do 2 in one episode?
I just want
fucked up.
because we didn't utilize the Nabishin intro enough during Extra Life. There's a little bonus content.
Snooky Boochies, everybody. I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Add it to the doc.
Have you
Nabishin
done-
accounts.
Have you done Pickle Rick yet, Nabishin?
I haven't. I got experience. Dude.
Yeah, he
Alright,
has to. Yeah, he has to watch the show, and he wouldn't do Pickle Rick. He would do another one.
All right, go Tony.
I'm pretty, which would start with all G. And
Sell
once he
a
gets that,
kidney
he'll appreciate that.
For a 4K TV.
The
Then
Witcher.
It's harder.
Yeah.
No dudes allowed. Just the two of us. in Indisception. And the fisting game.
I like
Oh, it's got to be the
Indeception,
fisting game.
because it's like deception as well as Indus.
Yeah.
All right, fine. The fucking fisting game.
The fisting game, I think, would be that's more like, what the hell? Yeah.
That's
I got to
fine.
listen to this.
I gotta
You
listen
gotta
to this
know
shit.
about the fisting
What?
game.
It's 3.5 hours long. What are they talking about?
Or the
Um,
fisting game in Deception.
It's true that it's not a Geoff Chorney episode unless it's like minimum 3.5 hours long, though.
Usually the case.
Yeah. You just have that effect on me. You just make me last long. You know.
Yeah, I'll put my
Hey,
down for
man.
fisting.
Hey, whoa.
Jeff, are you in the doc?
I can get in there.
No, you don't have to. I'm gonna write in the little chat on Google Hangouts what I want you to.
Before we do this,
Yeah?
Should I stop the recording now, by the way?
No,
No.
keep going.
no. Did
Just a
you
little
find out what the fisting game was called?
Yes,
Yeah.
we
Yes,
covered this.
Enchanted Arms.
Enchanted Arms. Okay. This is gonna be so much better.
Scotty,
I'm
you
just gonna say that after. I'm just gonna say that after the after someone tells the title.
All right, Nabishin's gonna say the title. Jeff, I'm gonna send a chat in there. I want you to say that little blurb in your pop.
Are you putting it under my thing?
In
or
your
yours?
professional, in the little Google Hangouts chat.
Yep. Oh, the chat. I was looking at the docs. Gotcha. Okay.
I can copy it in the doc if you like. Hell yeah! Now I've got a boner.
Alright.
So the Urusling 2, that part?
Yeah.
Yep.
And who's saying the fisting game?
Nabishin is.
I am.
Okay.
When you're ready, Jeff. I trust.
Is it anytime?
Yeah.
No, wait for Typer McTyperson to.
It's done, alright?
I'm gonna isolate the audio. Don't like.
Yeah, don't worry. That's why they're separate tracks.
Yeah, technically, you could
I
say it
can't
while all of us were
concentrate.
talking.
When I
The
can't
typing
do
is
it.
too
Hold on.
loud.
I can't pee when people are looking at me. You're listening to Irrational Passions Podcast, episode 354.
The fisting game.
Enchanted Arms.
This is like getting way too ASMR for me.
You want me to like put the keyboard up to the mic
You'll
real quick?
understand why
Hold on.
the
How about this?
game's actual name being the Enchanted Arms makes it
Oh
that much
yeah.
better now.
Oh, triggered.
You can stop recording.
All right, you can stop
Now we
recording
can
now.
start recording? Okay.
Yes.
Holy shit, that second half was also an hour and a half. Holy crap.
Yeah, it's almost like, it's like
Yeah.
good old times. Thank you for watching, everybody. We love you. Bye bye.